Ton.
Yeah. Yeah. Hashem Yahushua Ben and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All the brothers out there in the highways and the byways speaking his word in all sincerity and truth. We're here to prophesy the end of this world, of this kingdom, man, and everything's looking beautiful. It's looking sensational. All right, everything's moving in the right direction, which is towards the end, the coming of Yahweh Shai, man. And we're good. We're smiling. We're having a good time. We might not have no military, right? But we're watching our enemies destroy themselves, man. That's what's going to happen, man.
You man doing all the hard work.
You're doing all the hard work for us, man. Right? You're bringing judgment upon yourselves, and then you wait till Yahweh Shai turns up. Then it's going to get real spooky. All right, let's get that in numbers, man. Because that's what our gospel, man, is not unlike these nations. These Iranian salvation is predicated on some man in a factory somewhere building drones and building missiles. You know what I'm saying? The men of this world, their hope is in metal, man. Their hope is in the carnal, the things of the flesh. Like who's got the most this and the most that, and we're us. The only thing we got, in fact, someone hold Revelations 12 and 10. The only thing we got is the word of the testimony, and that's gonna overpower all these great nations with these great militaries and all these ICBMs and F-35s and FUs and all this type of shit. Yeah, we're still winning, man. All we got is garments and phones and scriptures.
But it's always the case, back in the ancient times, Israel was always outnumbered when it comes to the enemies of the nations, man.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter how many swords we had and how many men we had to go fight. It was enough because the Most High was with us, man. The Most High crushed our enemies.
That's right. Now we're in the weakest position we're in because we got nothing. We're not even a consideration in the world stage when it comes to military. Yeah, we ain't got nothing, man. We ain't ready to fight a war for 1 minute of any day. But that's all right. The Bible tells you the Lord is going to deliver us from the hand that was stronger than you. So Esau's boosted in his pride. These other nations are boosted. But they're going to go down and the Lord's going to elevate us, man. And we didn't have no military. How did that work?
This is Numbers 24, start from verse 17. And it reads, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
Right, a star out of Jacob and a scepter out of Israel. Get the Hebrews 7 and 14. And also Matthew. No. It's Matthew 2. Is it? Where it says
a ruler, governor. Sure.
Yeah,
Matthew 2:5.
2:5. That's the one. Yeah, that's talking about Yahweh Shai, man, and he physically came out of the nation of Israel. So all that virgin birth stuff is madness. Like, we ain't dealing with it. And it's 2026 now. If you can't get that, then we just got to move on. All right, the Lord.
Yeah, that's played out.
That's played out, man. The Lord had a physical father, and he had a physical mother, but he also had a spiritual father, which is the Most High. That's how it works.
His father was the right to his throne. It's through his lineage that Yahweh Shai was able to sit, to be able to sit on the throne, because they had to meet the prerequisites to fulfill prophecy, right?
He was from the lineage. That's how he was. He is an Israelite, man. And it says that, in there's another scripture I can think of, Revelation. The one where it says actually no, that we're getting it. We're getting it.
The everlasting Father.
No, the evidence is yeah, he's got it. Hebrews 7 and 14 is the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Hebrews 7 and 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Right, with our Lord sprang out of Judah. How do you come out of Judah? Through your father. Because the mother is not how the lineage is determined. Right? So he sprang out of Judah, meaning he was a Judite. And the scripture says it was evident. Now when you look it up in the word evident in the Greek, someone could look that up for me, Baba Kasha. I know you got the Urim and the Thurim in your hand there, man. Not you should come.
Evident in that in Greek is katadilos, right? Category. It actually makes me think of that category. But katadilos, it says thoroughly clear and plain.
See? already clear and plain. I believe it also says known to all. That might be in
I
the.
remember having something like that.
Oh, you ain't got the blue thing, you know? Yeah, bring up in the blue thing.
Yeah, I remember saying something like that.
Yeah, evidently, but that was on point there too. Plain. Like this wasn't this whole who was his father thing is a debate that we're having now because of these wicked men that incorporated pagan doctrine into the scriptures, man, through Catholicism. That's why we're having this debate. If you actually look in the scriptures, there was actually no debate about because think about it this way, yeah. If there was a controversy back then about his lineage, he wouldn't have been in the temple. Because remember,
They mentioned the lineage.
the lineage. You can't remember. You go back. They had the temple back then, right? The temple had what? What's the parts of the temple? You know them? Yeah, there were different areas of the temple. What's the first part the heathen could go in? The outer court, right? Then so the outer court, the unclean and the heathen could be in the outer court. So if you was a woman who was ceremonially you were Israelite woman that was ceremonially unclean, you could be in the outer court, right? Then you got men could go. Israelite men could even be in the outer court, of course, because it's the outer court. And the heathen, some Moabite, whatever, they could come and they could be in the outer court. We wouldn't, you're allowed to be there. To get past the outer court and go into the gates, you had to be an Israelite and you had to be clean. You had to be an Israelite. And then the next court was the court of the women. Obviously, if you're a man, you could go into the court of the women because you had to go through that. Yeah, so the court of the women, the only Israelite women could be in that court. That was the holy part of the temple because Israelite women are holy. They're of the holy nation. Then you go past the court of the women into the court of Israel, which would only be the men, and that's the Israelite men. Then you got the holy of holies, and then now you're getting the priesthood, right? So if there was a think about how demonic them Pharisees, they were looking for any reason to violate. If there was a thing of his dad, Joseph's not his father, bro, them man would have jumped on that. Like that would have been the whole gospel would have been them man beefing.
You know what? I actually made a mistake on quick. So if I go to the one in the 7:14, it's pro.
And I really hope
It says plain before men.
Praying before all men. This wasn't a controversial statement. Plain before all men, evident, known to all. This wasn't a thing.
So why is it not playing now?
Are we having this discussion? Because them man injected the confusion by bringing in the Talmuds and the Ceramis business into the scriptures. There was never no debate about who the father. Now, when the Lord said there is a point, can you get the point where he said, "Is it not written in your law that ye are gods?" Yeah, because they tried to press him on that. How are you saying that the Most High is your father? And he broke it down. Yahweh Shai, he broke it down. So what are you tripping for?
We'll start at 32, from 10 and 32. It says, Yahweh Shai answered them, many good works have I showed you from my father. For which one of those works do you stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we stoned thee not, but for blasphemy, and because thou, being a man, makest thyself God.
Now, if he was teaching that Joseph wasn't his father, they would have said, and you went up into the temple, and you're not even an Israelite. We don't even know who you are. They would have 100% been calling him a Samaritan. They would have been calling him a heathen. They said, this guy ain't one of us. Where's his records? Blasphemy, they would have been bugging like, this guy ain't an Israelite. Oh no, man, I'm an Israelite because the Spirit, Holy Spirit. They would have killed him.
And remember, his father was called Joseph, the son of David. So it's like, even just from a cultural perspective, like, it wasn't, obviously he was the carpenter's son and lonely, but his family would have been known. Like, people that would go to temple people that have been going to temple with his parents, people who, you know, yeah, man, I used to be with your dad back in the day. People know it. You know what I mean? Like,
But they said that isn't his father Joseph.
that
who
guy
we
around the
know?
corner, man.
What are you talking about, man?
You know?
They would have accused him right there and then, bro. You was up in the temple. In fact, hold on. Let's go back to this one too. Wasn't Paul accused of bringing heathens into the temple, and they wanted to do Paul in for it? So how come they brought that accusation to Paul, but Yahweh Shai himself, who according to them was claiming that his father wasn't an Israelite, didn't bring that accusation to him?
And then even with Paul, they knew they were Israelites, but they were like they're cast off though. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and that's why Paul said, "Hey, the way in which they call heresy, so worship I after the ways of my fathers, believing all such things which are written in the law and the prophets." So he cut them and said, "Bro, I ain't trying to bring no heathens in.
Come on, bro.
Talking about.
Like they've been caught. You know, they're bugged out, but they're still of us, man. That's basically that's what you know. And really,
And they want to repent, bro.
and really, the Pharisees they were bugged out too. The wicked ones, sorry, was you know. Right, and it says, Yahweh Shai answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods? If he called them gods unto whom the word of God came, and that scripture cannot be broken, say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemeth, because I said I am the Son of the Most High.
Yeah, because when you go into that scripture, it clearly says in the scriptures, all Israelites are the sons of God. So why are you bugging? Why are
I
you
say
tripping?
that, but son,
And if that's the case, yeah, if that's the case, then that, when we all ain't got fathers or something, what's happening here?
and like remember as well, the Lord made stumbling blocks kind of happen, because obviously the Lord was born in Bethlehem, but he had to flee and all that. So it's like they didn't know that. So they was already looking for every bit to disprove him being.
Yeah, but one thing he never mentioned was his father not being Israel. But they were strict on it.
Yeah,
they were strict on your lineage.
Yeah.
So this whole lineage thing on the virgin birth is a modern day thing.
Because if that was the case, right, they would have asked, if you're the Messiah, then you shouldn't have a father. But that never came up. That was never talked discussed.
No, in terms of
if he's supposed to be born through the Spirit, because if that's the understanding that they had, in the
But they didn't have that.
That's my point.
But they never had that.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. That's the question they would have asked. You should have a father then.
which proves that he did have a father.
But their understanding was that wasn't even a question, period.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why it wouldn't even come up.
They're saying that Yahweh Shai was saying that, and that's what the modern day Christians are saying. I get what you're saying, but the modern day Christian is saying that's what Yahweh Shai was teaching. But he never taught that, because they would have addressed that. Like, okay, cool. If that's the case,
because everybody has to go by the prophecies. If you don't fit the prophecies, they can't run. You know what I mean? These things would have come up if that was the case.
yeah, it's cool. So even on their side and on the other side, there was no argument about who his earthly father was. That wasn't even a thing. That's something we argue about today. Paul never argued about it. No one argued about it. Like, where was the arguments in the scriptures about it? There ain't none.
No quick precept.
Yep.
This is the last book, the last chapter. Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, Revelation 22:16. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star.
Yeah. That's the point. How is he the offspring of David? Through his Joseph, through his father's lineage.
But you've got a precept here for that, Luke 2:4. And Joseph went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth unto Judea, unto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was the house and lineage of David.
There you go.
Right? That's why it's important to emphasize that, because he is of the lineage of David. And you can say, oh yeah, Mary's connected and joined to the lineage and that, but it was never through the mothers did we ever measured that. It was always through the fathers. So why are we bringing the mother into the equation, whether or not he's a Judite or not? That's not why he's a Judite. That's not why he's part of that lineage. It's through Joseph.
Oh, there wasn't.
Scripture. For wisdom of Solomon 7:7 from 1, it says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be fresh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
So where did the seed of man come from? If Yahweh Shai was some miracle creation through the spirit, where
He
did the
was
seed
a
of man?
miracle.
He was a miracle. Where did the seed of man come from? Because angels and spirits don't have seed. They don't have progeny.
That's another thing. They think because it said he was of the Holy Spirit, that means he didn't have a father.
John the Baptist.
Nah, that's not. It means that this was a special,
moved in the spirit.
ordained.
Yeah.
You know,
It means it was just a prophet officer.
no, it just have to pop out like a toaster.
You know, like it's like David spoke about it. Like there's many prophets, and John the Baptist, was of the Spirit because he was prophesied about to be a forerunner.
The spirits, inhabited vessels made by the flesh.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that flesh and that seed came from Joseph.
I mean, bro, bro, you Christians are tired. Tired, bro. You're just bloated. You don't know what you're talking about. Like that virgin, bro. Like, have you seen what's happening in the Middle East in virgin birth? Come on, man.
I got this one.
I'm
Hebrews
saying.
2:16. For verily he took not on him the nature of angels, right? Because angels are purely spiritual beings with them celestial bodies. But he took on him the seed of Abraham. What does it mean? That means he, when he come down on earth, came through the seed of Abraham, man, which is through David. Like, so it's the scriptures is even telling you, yeah, he took upon him. He's a normal man. He was a normal man in terms of the flesh, but in the spirit, he was great. What's that? What's so hard to understand about this? Right?
And I say, we never mentioned the seed of the mother. That's why when you read about Yahweh Shai lineage, there's no women in there.
Yeah.
It's all men, because that's how the lineage is carried on.
Yeah.
I have a quick point. Well, like I asked chat about scripture, and it's about John 7:41 to 52. It says this verse is challenging his legitimacy as being the savior, because he was known to be from Galilee,
That was their sticking point.
whereas the scripture predicted he would be from Bethlehem. So it's like they knew he was an Israelite, where his father was, but they just disputed him being the savior because they didn't know he was originally born in Bethlehem.
There you go. So
Get to the point.
and we got the other one. Okay. Yeah.
It was going to say, and the pressure that came was a strip. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I heard was crying as all other do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that was scared. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth.
So there's that on that as well. It's from Hebrews 2:17. It says, where in all things it behooved him, like Yahweh Shai. Oh, actually, you should have read, but the verse on down for 17. So wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, showing that he is of a mortal nature, like us. You know what I mean? He was born the same way we were born. He grew up the same way we grew up. And
Suffered the same
suffered
temptations.
That's
the
it.
same pain. If he fell over, bumped his knee, you know what I mean? Like, stubbed his toe. That's what made it
he
great.
fasted and was hungered. He was hungry. He was suffering. So he was made like unto his brethren. Like, so it was for a natural process. Because most that does deal with processes.
And the one case where it wasn't of that way, it's explicitly said, right, with Melchizedek, right? He's having no father or mother. It was explicitly stated that was the case. So why is there no explicit statement in regards to Yahushua?
Down with no father.
Yeah.
It's not the prophecy. And so you go down to break down the words virgin, all that kind of stuff. You didn't know it's a young marriageable woman. A young maid. Right? Not strictly someone that doesn't have sex, but like obviously Joseph and Mary had sex. And she took on the seed of man, which is what is also written, right? We just read. Okay, which produced Yahweh Shai. It's really quite simple. People want to get into oh, he was adopted, all this kind of stupidness, right? You see the scholars try to argue all these different points, man. But an adopted Israelite can't inherit nothing. If he's not an Israelite, you know what I mean? He has to be an Israelite to inherit. Right? Otherwise, Abraham would have made his retainer, his servant, head of his house. But the Lord was like, no, I'm going to give you an actual son of your line.
The Lord said, the Lord himself said he's the root and offspring of David.
Yeah.
So are you going to argue with him? No. He said he's the root and offspring of David.
Yeah.
If you go into the word offspring,
Yeah.
if you go into read it. If you go into the word offspring, it's sperma, man.
Yeah.
It goes into that.
You know,
That's what offspring.
yeah.
Not rice.
Yeah.
Sorry, seeds of
What kind of adoption we're having is a spiritual adoption. Yeah. Finish that. Man.
So wherefore in all things he behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to the Most High, to make reconciliation for the sins of his people.
Right, the Lord went through, put it in a, he went through all the things we would go through. It's just he overcame everything, and that's what made him special. He faced all the temptations that you face in the flesh, but he overcame them through the Spirit. Because he was the spiritual man and a perfect man. Right. In fact, add on to that in the same Hebrews 4:15. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So all the things that we go through that we make failing, the Lord went through the same things, but he prospered.
But an angel spirit can't go through the same adversities, man. He doesn't understand it because he hasn't experienced it.
And that's why it's not necessary for him to have this whole idea of virgin birth is trying to make the Lord more special because he didn't have a father, when it's actually what made the Lord special was nothing to do with
Coming in
that.
flesh.
The whole point is he overcame the flesh. He came in the flesh as we do, and he overcame it in the spirit. But they're missing that point and trying to make this other thing to make him special. Because that's one of the arguments they make. Well, how was he special then? It's like, bro,
Did anyone else
read what you just said?
anyone else did what he did?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? That makes it more special when you come and did it the hard way. You didn't get the additive.
Because they want to see the special, but the Lord's been promoted, like a better word, been promoted to a higher, exalted to the highest status, bro, under the Most High. He's got glory, he's got a body now, he's got all these special things that you think want to be special, but he's got all that because he did what he did in the flesh.
He suffered pain, man. He suffered all these things. So he had a father. I mean, look, man, if you want to believe that, then that just means you're not of the elect. Sometimes we just gotta bring it like that. If you after you search scriptures, you want to go with the understanding that he didn't have, then that just means you're not of the elect, that you don't get it, man. But it's clear if you understand the scriptures that that's not what you're saying is not necessary, and we can show you where that was incorporated from pagan philosophy, to uplift the woman. There's no need for that. The woman has her place and has her honor where it belongs. We don't need to add on to it like any more than the scriptures add. Yeah?
Because you're building off of your point, but rather that argument where they say, "Oh, then how was he special?" Scripture said, "Yahushua conquered sin."
Jake just wants the whole point of him was to come humble, and really to for really the sake of faith as well. To see him as he came as a normal man and
I mean, he turned water to wine. You know what I mean? He rolled by fish alone.
You know what I mean? The Bible says the Lord got angry. Sometimes when someone do something, like let's say you're having an argument and brothers be chatting, things you don't like. Sometimes you might feel the anger within you and you want to slap the brother, and you think in your mouth. But I'm talking about, sometimes, when you get angry, it's a feeling you get in your body, right? You want to clap off a man, and that's why certain men even regret it after they do it. Like, oh shit, the body, the Lord went through all that.
Yeah.
So imagine now the Lord is dealing with demons that's trying to get at him, right? And the Lord would have got angry.
Personally had Satan.
Yeah.
Personally had Satan come to him.
Don't you know that the Lord would have wanted to put man down? Like, don't you know, even when they were coming at him, there would have been times when the Lord would have been angry. Like, you know what, man, I could just call down, I could just get this guy evaporated, and you have to hold, that takes a lot more to hold back yourself from wanting to just smash man. It's a Superman paradox, isn't it? But it's like, man, remember the scene where the guy was violating him, yeah, and he pushed him, and he's like, yeah, he put the bear on his head, and man had to be like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I could just
right now.
but that's that the Lord had to go through all those temptations that you get in the flesh, where you get anger, you get lust, you get all these different things, and the Lord overcame all those things and didn't sin once in his entire life. Now, if you ask me, that's pretty special.
No one could have done that. No one could have done that.
And he's doing all of that. Like, oh, well, even that scientist, remember? The scientist was breaking down the Lord's crucifixion.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, like, there's no way a mere mortal could really kind of handle that.
Man.
His spirit was strong, man.
But that's what the scripture said in Isaiah 53. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
I was gonna say, yeah, but Max Downman scores a goal and he's special. You know what I mean?
Van
Like,
Dulu run
yeah,
away
yeah.
after a corner. Bro.
you know, but how much I achieved great things that no other man could have achieved. It's true, you know. It's true.
Where we at? Because I want to go back to numbers. Did we get the Matthew one? Matthew 2 and 5.
No,
The crown. Yeah,
I
crown.
can get that.
Yeah, let's get that real quick. Yeah, so Yahushua is the one. He's a star that came up out of Jacob. He's the chosen one. He's the anointed one. That's why he's known as the Messiah. He's the anointed one. He's the one we all were looking for and waiting for. In him shall all things be fulfilled. Now, in this world, man, every Jake is out here trying to be the man. Well, as much as you want to be, you will never be the man. The one that everyone's going to look up to, that's looking down on everyone else, is Yahushua. You know?
It's Matthew chapter 2. I'll start from the top. It says, now when Yahushua was born in
Like, and just to say, just like the scripture say, man, there's no one more deserving of it. You know,
Paid the price.
because they were looking for someone to unlock the book, right? And who was worthy? No one in earth, no one was worthy.
Yeah.
But Yahushua was worthy because he went through it, man.
Went through it, man. And that shows you, hey, the Lord's bad, because he was ordained to this position. He was made but he still had to go through it.
Yeah.
Just like even on a lesser degree, we were ordained to be the chosen ones, to be the rulers of the earth. But hell, we still had to go through it. Man ain't gonna say, oh, we were some spoiled brat like that. We were just given the kingdom and didn't. No, bro, man still had to go into slavery, all kind of things, and learn lessons before we get to the inevitability of what was set up for us, man.
Yeah.
So man can't say man didn't put in no work.
Mhm. Yep.
Went out there suffering in Edomites, man. Chatting wet.
Holding it down.
Trying not to crash out.
Matthew 2 from the top. And it says, now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? We have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Yahushua should be born.
Yeah, that's the nature of a Edomite. Bro, listen, when the Most High set up a thing here and you hear it, you just have to humble it. And that's why the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth.
Yeah.
You gotta humble yourself. Imagine a man's telling you, listen, man, the Most High set this thing up. It's even written in the stars, bro. Yeah. The Most High set this thing up. This guy is gonna be the king of the Jews. And the next thing you think is, how can I undo that? How can I stop that from happening? Think of the arrogance, bro. You should just be like, you know what? I had a good run. You know what I mean? Like, let me try and make a way for myself that I could even be a porter to this new king.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Period of venture, I could hold a nice little position. No, he was like,
Take him out.
That's the burn.
if I kill him, how will he be king?
and then when you failed in that endeavor, trying to find out where he was, now you decided to slaughter a whole bunch of babies, bro.
Yeah.
Doing the Palestinian thing, bro.
How much
Dropping bombs everywhere.
you know how demonic you have to be, brother. How lacking the morals you have to be.
Yeah.
You want to murder babies. But guess what? That's the way of the world. Most people now, even this modern day, would slaughter a bunch of babies if it means they can live in a penthouse in Dubai. They got no morals, bro. They will do anything to be elevated into a position. They will burn everything.
Well, you see it, man. They attack the school, you know what I mean? They just do hospitals, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, but it's for peace, it's for our stability, in the whatever.
you see,
Every man
AJ,
justifies their reasons for doing shit, man, but it's wicked.
you know, allegedly AJ sacrificed his brethren.
Mm.
And you notice it's bare spooky because it's almost like it never happened.
Yeah.
It's actually very spooky, yeah, because he's just walking around. He's in Ukraine right now. I feel bad for him, blood. He sold his soul. Now you got to hang around with Usyk, yeah, and ding, ling, 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 and then he's got to pretend he's down with it, like,
He sold it.
bro, he sold his soul, bro. His brethren was mash weight.
Yeah.
Hey, but Herod was doing the same thing, man. And but again, that just shows you the difference between spiritual men, meek men, humble men, and the proud. Only a proud, and that leads to witchcraft. Rebellion is just a sin of witchcraft. You're trying to find a way, and Esau's doing the same thing now. He knows that this is what the prophecies say concerning the children of Israel and Yahweh Shai and the rulership of the next kingdom. Yeah, but what if I, he's there like, but what if I do this? Well, no, bro, you can't. There's nothing you can do. It's prophecy for a reason.
Are you sure?
Maybe if we just drop this bomb and
Maybe if I do that.
But that's the job of Satan, to make him believe that he can. To deceive him.
arrogance, man. But anyway, let's keep it going.
Verse 5, and it says, and they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judah.
By the prophet, man, still was.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. In the land of Judah art not the least among the prince of Judah, but out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
Right.
See
The governor. Right, that's Yahweh Shai. He's going to be the head of the government, which is underneath him is the 144,000, and that government is going to rule over all territories. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So there ain't going to be no room for Esau, Edom, and whatever they think they got going on, or Moab, or whoever think there ain't going to be no room when the Lord establishes the mountain of Israel on top of all the mountains, man. And there's nothing anyone can do about it. There's no witchcraft. You could sacrifice every baby on this planet, man. You could sacrifice every virgin on the planet, plus the animals and the plants. You could sacrifice everything you want. You still won't overturn what the Lord has said, the prophecy. There's no witchcraft.
Said, except the Lord build their house. Abraham vain that builder.
There's nothing you could do. You're cooked. Your whole kingdom is written to be cooked, literally.
Power taken away from you.
It's done.
It is done.
It is done. This is I got one. This is Acts 13 and 22. And when he had removed them, he raised unto them David to be their king, to whom he gave testimony and said, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. Of this man's seed have the Most High, according to his promise, raised unto Israel as a savior. The Lord
Unto who?
unto Israel a savior.
Yeah, I mean, we hate to keep going over it, but we have to. We have to drum it into your mind that this ain't about everyone. This is about saving the nation of Israel first and foremost, man. Beginning with the elect.
And it says unto the Israel a savior, the Lord Yahweh Shai.
There you go.
So that's it, man.
That's to the point. So jump back where we was in Numbers.
Yep.
Right. So this is going way back.
Or what the Star of David.
Yeah, the star. We just showed you who the star is. The star is Yahweh Shai. Right? And he gonna overcome Iran, all these men, and whatever they think they got going on. Well, he gonna turn up and crash the whole party. And he don't need ICBMs. He don't need the military industrial complex. He gonna turn up with some brand new toys you ain't never seen before.
He turned up without no sword in his hand and nothing, man. It's just temper, causes sparking tempers and shit, man.
Yeah,
Like, bro, there's no competition.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine a chariot coming bigger than the planet. Like, Esau doesn't have the technology to even have something that heavy.
I can't keep the straight at home.
But it's not even heavy.
That's
It's a hymatic. It's
I mean,
got
I don't-
mass, but it's not got no weight almost.
Esau's games are game on no level. But that's why we can have the faith and the boldness that we have, because we understand we worship a true power, man. Esau's not the true power. Esau's got that Temu power, man. That old school made in China thing that just breaks down. Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's what you're gonna find out. The best thing he got is a bunch of nukes. And it's just such a
So you can't
stupid
control it.
idea. Like, you got uncontrollable power. Like he's a monkey, bro, with a chemistry set, man.
The book of Daniel 7 and the 13. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the crowd of heaven, and he came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not be passed away. I mean, shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
There you go. So the kingdom that the Lord's getting ready to establish is going to be forever, man. So think of the biggest number that you can have in your head, yeah, and times that by infinity. That's how long the kingdom's going to be of the Lord. Now, your kingdom, Esau, it's already done. Now, the elites are still, you know, when you get the you're shaking the last little bit of the petrol out, man. They're still holding on to that 1% bar, quick. You know, the backlight's off, but you're still kind of, trying to do. These everyday Edomites, you're all the way cooked. Maybe you're all online trying to find all these Edomites trying to find a manosphere guy that can help them, like, get to do some real estate. Bro, it's,
and show him the right perfume to buy it.
Guys, look, man, all these things are happening in the world, but none of it don't matter. You just gotta know how you can increase your bags, bro. First of all, them guys are scamming you. Secondly, there ain't no bags. If you're not rich already right now, brother, you're cooked. Just charge it, man.
Charge it.
Because all these rich men are doing it with their money is building bunkers and buying grains, grains. And shit. They're not saying to do none of that shit.
Bro, you missed out, man. You should have been born as a boomer.
That's generous.
Bro, all markets are going down. All of it.
Oh man, you saw the one you shared, man, with the guy bought £800,000 house.
And it's cool.
Yeah. But the first thing I thought, why the fuck did you spend £800,000 on a flat?
Yeah.
That's dumb as fuck. That's dumb as hell. But it's Edomite. So
Is it even real? Like, I don't know. Why would a flat be 800?
I mean, like, it can be.
Dumb.
It can be. But it's just like, why would you?
To the area.
Probably the area.
Why would you spend that much on a flat?
Yeah.
That's stupid, bro.
Knowing that you don't have the control over the property.
Start running OnlyFans down.
But hey, but you see, Black Mirror, I think the latest season, the guy, I think he got in so much debt or whatever, trying to pay for his woman's.
Oh, the heart thing. Yeah.
Where
It's like they're madness on the internet.
but
That's what people are doing.
That's mad.
Thinking social, bro.
Mad.
I don't know if you've ever made the mistake here of going onto the live streams on YouTube. Sometimes you got the shorts, but then you got there's actually some insanity going on. It's like we're in some next dystopian scientific where man's just out there just doing madness, and people are there gifting them. What's going on there, bro? What part of the internet is this?
Yeah, dude eating a bowl of mayonnaise with a spoon. Just like the screen, man. Like,
Bro, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I remember. Did I send you the screen? That guy was bugged out.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. Clown, whatever.
You gotta make it how you can make it. But really, this kingdom's we're in the end game of this kingdom where they're trying to do a controlled demolition of this kingdom to bring in a new version of their kingdom. But it's not gonna happen. There is no new version. This is it. Like, like a butterfly, they go into a little cocoon and come out the other side. No, you're just gonna get squashed.
Yeah. Winter's coming, blood. It's just gonna beat your ass.
And that's because it's one of the things always like the interest rates went up. A lot of people's mortgage payments doubled, right? So that was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But ever since then, bills have been going up. Like people getting excited because April, like in the UK, the gas was meant to go down. Which let's say it goes down, but then come October now, it's going to double, quadruple. Right, so you get certain people now that they've actually been hurt for quite a while, and now the cost of everything's going to go up.
Even your rent's gonna go up because if the landlord things are going up, your things going up, and then your pay rise is non-existent. It's matched. Yeah, because they want the crisis, man. We're gonna get into the MOTB later because every crisis that's happening right now leads into more governmental control for your good. Just like how you got the energy crisis, they're saying, oh well, we're gonna slow down your speed limit to help you not burn as much petrol.
Same thing happened
Or
in the 70s.
it's the same because the whole point is the more crisis that they can bring, the more they can justify controlling everything. Food. Okay, so we got to control the food and what people can buy.
I mean, even waste. Like the brother Kyle Bible, the
Drones out there, innit?
drones,
Yeah.
laser guided drones,
Yeah.
for people fly tipping.
So basically,
Oh.
it's full surveillance state where the AI will run the resources. But guess what? It's not going to be an abundance of resource.
Yeah.
It was never going to be. It's going to be everything they tell you is that there's not enough of everything because they want to control you.
Because in the post that you shared, it's, again, right? Because that Strait of Hormuz, you get a lot of resources that end up being used in the manufacturing of fertilizer,
Yeah.
right? And the article was posted was basically saying how the farmers they've got a set window, and if they ain't planted, if it's too expensive for them, it's cooked. And that's what once again I always speak about. I haven't spoken about it in a while, but when you watch Clarkson's farm, you realize just how cooked a lot of those farmers have been for a very long time.
And that again, that's what we've been telling you for years. A lot of people are going to take the chip for access to government food.
Mhm.
The government's going to take control of big agro. Well, say control, but big agro is the government.
Yeah.
All these, because remember what they've done is everything is just massive conglomerates now. So these massive conglomerates, all they need to do is partner
Mhm.
with the government, and it's all one thing anyway. You know,
But that's why in the UK they change inheritance laws.
yeah, because they want to squeeze out the little guys out of it.
Little guys, yeah.
So then now you can say we need to control the food because it's a shortage because the whole global system of food going from one place to another is shut down. So now every region has to survive on its own, which is going to leave a lot of regions like Europe cooked. But that's all right because they want it to be cooked. They want to be able to say, okay, now we need to control how many apples you can have.
Yeah.
So hold this chip. Oh, you don't want the chip? You must be an Iranian. You must be a terrorist. You must be against the government. You must be an enemy of the state because you don't want to take this chip or you hide it.
Well, you had the anti-ICE protesters recently done for terrorism in the States. So showing you if you're against the government and government policy.
They just
Terrorism,
counter-terrorism against you.
It's a stretch in it, bro, but that's what they're doing.
And then even that over here in the UK, that Palestine Action,
Mhm.
they got called terrorists.
Bro, even MAGA's going to be called terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, Trump said he wasn't going to go into no new wars. And he went into a war. So fuck Trump. Oh, yeah? Yeah, because this thing was never really about left and right. It's about, we run things not run we. Because him and Hillary are brethren. So it's all about you to control you. So all them things that they were cheerleading for, we told, man. Cheerleading all this ICE stuff because you think it's for left. You think it's for the left, so it's like, okay, get rid of them rights. See the left, they just shot, man. Not knowing that, they're gonna then turn around and use those powers against you.
There's a saying, Amalek, applies it to themselves, but it's like when they came for this person, I didn't care. When they came for that person, I didn't care. But now eventually they come in for me, and now I want someone to care for me.
Yeah, that's what it is. A lot of these Trump guys are gonna go anti-Trump, but guess what? Trump ain't already said to hell with you. You're an enemy too now. All right, let's finish off with the numbers. Who's reading numbers?
America.
You're a traitor. And then they go, you can't do this to me, but you remember that one guy in the car? He was like, yeah, y'all want to come and take my gun? I'll fire it off. I was laughing. I was like, yo, this thing, he a real one still. He go the way he said it. He might be a Jake. He said, I'm gonna fire it off. Come try to take my gun.
That 357 Magnum.
Yeah, that guy.
Gonna talk.
Hey, but that's why the scripture says there's gonna be sedition among men.
Mhm.
Because there's gonna be people that ain't gonna be like, nah, like we not with this thing, man. We're gonna fire it off.
Well, that Marine, they broke his arm.
Mm.
That was a powerful image.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna get soldiers that don't believe in what's going on. They're gonna fire it off too.
They showed you in the Civil War movie. There were two different type of soldiers. The ones that were painting their nails and still against the other soldiers that were standing for America.
Yeah.
They're gonna fire it off because there's certain guys that's gonna be like, this ain't America, it ain't what
Mhm.
but bro, it's never been America.
Yeah, sir.
You believed in a lie. That's what it was.
And that same dude that broke his arm, he's gonna run for Bennett.
Oh,
So, you know he gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, there's always been. Remember, right? When you watch, just a quick segue, then we'll jump back in. Yeah. Well, I remember like this guy Alex Jones is an agent, right? But remember, for the longest while, it was known and taught in the truther movement that the left and right is a false paradigm. That it doesn't matter whether you vote Republican or vote Democrat. They're all working for the New World Order, right? But then Alex Jones, the way he did it, because I was there. I was in the studio now. I was there. So what they did was you had this guy. They always have that one or two Republicans who they talk the good talk. But he's really a puppet. He's really a puppet, but he's a designated the guy that is telling the truth. But we know he ain't gonna go nowhere. So you had Ron Paul and Alex Jones managed to get everyone
ban the Fed or
to
whatever.
come, ban the
Fed.
audit the Fed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Alex Jones managed to get everyone to start getting behind
him.
Ron Paul, which he failed because really was running interference for someone else, right? And then obviously that's how they ended up giving Rand Paul a job. So Ron Paul did his job, then Rand Paul, and Rand's doing the same thing his dad does now. He talks a lot of sense, but he won't ever go nowhere because he's a puppet, right? Now, that's when they started coming into the idea of politics. Then Trump came, and remember, they set Trump up as he's an incumbent.
yeah, just
Then they had all the theater about how the Republicans don't want him,
Exactly, New World.
and people believed all that shit, like because they believe anything they see on TV. So they managed to get all these guys to come in that previously was ready to crash out. There used to be guys calling into Alex Jones' show like, Alex, man, when we gonna talk about what's real? The truth of the matter is, with this New World Order, we gotta get together and pop off. Bro, there was, and then Alex would be like, oh well, they want us to do that. They want us to be violent. Yeah, but no, there was bare callers that would call in, and you could hear it in their voice. These are like Vietnam veterans, and they're not. They see through the bullshit. They're like, listen, bro, why are we here talking for?
Yeah.
Why are we talking?
Yeah.
If these men want to bring in a New World Order and they want to come for our guns and it's a prison planet, yeah, all we should do is get together all the like-minded guys and go and fire it off. Yeah. They managed to get all them guys to invest in Trump. So they were like, okay, let's believe in this political system now.
He's gonna change it.
Because Trump is going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
So what do you think them dudes are going to do when they finally wake up that they were duped?
Yeah. Crash out.
Bro, their whole they go fire it off.
Because you know what it is as well. It's like there are a lot of families that broke up over that whole Trump thing. So imagine that guy, he's gonna be, look, so I lost my daughters don't talk to me, or dead, yeah, you know, or
He's doing the face.
exactly.
Why can't you just vote Trump?
Exactly. So you're gonna have a whole load of those people that invested and lost a lot by supporting Trump, that are then gonna be like, and they're gonna be like, for nothing. They're gonna be hurt.
Dudes gonna drink their moonshine and make it happen.
Yeah.
No, this is real, and they know that's gonna happen. They know that there's these, and guess what? That's why they've been tracking these individuals. They got them on a database because they know there's Edomites out there that listen.
Group chats.
Yeah,
Keep finding puts.
they're like, yo, we gave Trump a chance. Part of this politicking. We gave this politicking a chance. Yeah, good.
Second Ezra 15 and 14.
Let's go to the French chapter.
Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another.
And it's gonna be, it's not what people think. They automatically think it's gonna be left versus right. No, there's gonna be just random, because there's
Anger.
within the right, there's men that are now battling each other. You got the pro-Trumpers, and then you got the guys that are anti-Trump now within the right. And they ready to fire it off. Them man say you're not true MAGA and all this shit. So there's division all over the place. Still talking about the damn Epstein.
Yeah.
Bro, it's over now. Let's move on.
I was going to say, and sword in their hands.
This is the type of sword when you fire it off, man.
For there shall be sedition among men, and
And sedition, meaning not you're against the government. You're saying to hell with the government, the authority courts. You don't want to respect the authorities. There's a lot of guys in America that's gonna be like that. A lot of Jakes that are gonna be like that. A lot of Edomites, a lot of Hispanics are gonna be like that, and they're gonna fire it off.
Then you labeled, a terrorist or anarchist or whatever. Just like with the Ice Age, when they go protest the Ice Age, and they man are turning on those people that are peacefully protesting or whatever, man are getting gunned down.
Yep. They call them man terrorists. They say, "Oh, he was a terrorist."
I mean,
Yeah.
like it told you that in that film, man.
Civil War.
Huh?
Civil War.
Yeah, it showed you it. Like, bro, you remember when they got caught in like in that range or whatever it was.
Yeah, what kind of American?
What type of American? And then
Idiot should have just said he was from
yeah. and then after like, bro,
Yep. You're the Asian guy. Hong Kong.
Idiot, bro. I could have picked 51 different states, man. Man, picked that. Like, bro, you should have said you're
bro,
Eskimo
clear.
from fucking Alaska.
It's evidently clear. If you say you're from anywhere else, go.
Fire it off.
Hong Kong.
What are you doing, bro? Alaska.
Yeah.
Simple.
That ditch quick. But the point is, remember
The xenophobia.
yeah, man. Everyone. But when I make it is, remember, like they were specially kind of trained and had like trucks, armored vehicles and stuff. So they don't even. Yeah,
DHS.
yeah, man.
ICE. DHS. And it's all the same. That's what we were trying to tell you, that all these infrastructures will just blend into one infrastructure. The police, ICE, DHS, the National Guard, they will just become one organism that's just on your ass. Simple as that.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, no princes, and they
They're gonna fire it off, bro.
You
Like,
got certain gangs, they're gonna have their little organization and they're gonna work together. Certain the cartel mans in certain places, like places like LA, bro. There's gonna be a lot of sedition. You try to take control of that place, man. Yeah, there's gonna be people running from all them people that's gonna run for the chip. But there's gonna a lot of people that are gonna be like, F all that.
yeah,
I don't
like,
know.
especially
Not because they're spiritual.
yeah.
It's because
It's especially when you have them numbers, like a lot of them, again, cartels, gangs, shit that, where the guys at the top are juiced in. You know what I mean?
fire it up.
Fire it up.
Or get certain places under their control. Go on.
and the cause of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
So that's they're gonna have a lockdown and check down. You can't go here, you can't go there.
Yep.
Curfews,
Yep.
things of that nature.
Because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
Yeah, they're gonna be afraid because there's the sense of you got man talking about London's bad now, which is mainly people not from London. All these Edomites that live in like the sticks. They London's a hellhole. Like, bro, London's cool.
Well, here's a good example. Right? Them man that got left in Dubai, right, when all the bombs were going up, right? They're in a relatively safe space because they weren't really being attacked like that, innit? But they were afraid because they're not used to bombs dropping in. It's saying here when all that shit goes down, people are not used to that.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be worried to do anything. They're gonna be scared.
Yeah.
Well, in that time, you should be scared.
Yeah.
Because there actually is a real and present danger. Like right now, there isn't any. These guys talking about London like on it in Twitter, like it's some crazy place. Bro, all the women, women be going out in London at like 2 in the morning. London, nothing, butt naked. It's fine. It's not that deep. But in that time, it's gonna be deep because there is gonna be lawlessness. There is gonna be chaos. There are gonna be people out there that are hungry and willing to do anything to get to that bread. That's different. That's a whole different situation than just what we're going through here with a little petty crime and some guys on mopeds like steal your phone. Not saying like Iran right now. Them man are getting bombs dropped randomly, bro. That's real terror, bro. Like you said, Dubai wasn't even. What's happening in Dubai was there was drones flying over, they get intercepted, and shrapnel from the interception might crash somewhere. That's a bit different than what them man are going through in Iran, where man are actually targeting your apartment block. crumple
Would
it.
you man get assassinated?
And like really these you know dates, especially from the UK that was open to Dubai, they're lucky. You know what I mean? Iran didn't take the same approach to the small hats because
Yeah.
everything get blown.
Small, the indiscriminate.
Laptop, yeah, you know.
Well, those places are rife to really starve to death
yeah.
because them
It's prime
Gulf
desert
states,
Desert.
they literally shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like the desert is not designed to support life. It's supposed to be just couple like
Yeah.
them guys from Star Wars, you know, them little guys with the wings running around, like some nomad dudes. You're not supposed to have actual humans.
Yeah.
Flipping running. What's it? What them
Yeah,
things called again?
that big.
I forgot what them. You know them. No, they had them little things that you.
Wookiees.
Was it what?
No, was that Chewbacca?
That's- I forgot what it was, but you know in Star Wars they got them little tiny things that would steal. You leave your ship here, they come and steal your ship. That's who's supposed to be in the desert, bro. Not some rapper like eating flipping caviar, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's,
Because even just the infrastructure process, I was just watching something where someone was explaining how the roads are always kept clean in Dubai and them lands because you get sand. Sand is a real and present issue in those countries, and it's like yeah, and you basically have to like have entire like fleets of trucks that are constantly coming and basically spraying the roads to keep the dust off of it. Right, it's a whole
massive
infrastructure.
capital
Yeah.
influx here.
Yeah,
And the food has to be brought in. Desalination, it don't rain, so it's pure. And the drinking water is actually bottled water. So the actual drinking water has to come in from, has to be delivered in. But then water to bathe in is from the desalination plants. You don't really, you're not supposed to drink that water. You're supposed to drink the bottled water. So them places are rife that if the whole logisticals of food and that came in, it's peak, you know. And then so then man, if you could get out of there right now, you know, you get out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Those are the desert ain't the place to be.
Yeah.
They're not like when they find you, you're gonna be like a mummy.
Have you seen that?
Right up.
Did you see that video?
Like,
I think it was this past week. You know, in Dan, you know, because you know over there's a place people do that trip when they're coming into Europe, like you know, people get on boats, get to Spain and Italy. But anyway, there's a dangerous trip with what they do when they're fleeing, and some people have to walk through the sand and stuff, like and desert, and people just drop dead and become literally mummies because
because it dries
in
them
the
out.
sun and it's that sun
Dries them out. That's what I think. That's what would happen. Man, find you. They think you're from 1,000 years ago.
Put you in a British museum 60 million years ago.
The man's got a fucking tattoo. A Def Jam tattoo.
Like he's still got his phone charger and he put him in a bridge.
The Egyptians had an iPhone.
They said they had tablets.
We really was crazy. Yeah. So, but see, the terribleness is gonna eventually. This crisis is gonna get out of control, and it is gonna cause unmitigated destruction and death, and all these things all over because the world does run off these global systems operating.
And the worst thing is, it's like the way they've designed the modern world is this thing called just in time. So it's like everything has to arrive just in time, and when it don't, they call it you know, because what really when you think about, like, for instance, with Joseph in Egypt, right? They basically had a whole system of you storing grain because there is going to be bad days, and that's why sometimes we may not feel the shock of like right now. If they didn't have the strategic petroleum reserves, this world is done already. Right, but because they have those reserves in there, because of the last oil crisis, they're able to like push out a little bit at a time. But just more the point is, there's a lot of places that are going to really start suffering because they ain't getting the raw materials in the time to make certain things, and then like the whole production lines get shut down.
Because guess what? That goes into 2030.
Yeah,
You go back into the plan, Agenda 2030. It's all about reducing production and streamlining production.
Exactly.
Unless even Trump told you maybe you should only have one doll.
Yeah. When you look at some of these factories, like for instance, metalworking factories, because they've shut down over here in the UK over the last couple of years, right? But one of the things that they say is once the furnace is done, that whole factory's done. Once that furnace shuts down, it's not just like, oh yeah, you can turn it on next week. It's like, no, once that fire stops burning, it's done. Right. So then you imagine, I think it was like one of those Arab countries was basically going into how, okay, cool, we've shut it down, but to bring it back up to full capacity, it's going to take a long time.
Lead up time, yeah, to get it all. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of processes like that.
Yeah.
But when I used to work in the dairy, it was like that. If we shut down a pasteurizer, it takes 4 hours to get that shit back up to speed again. And that's on a small scale.
Exactly.
When you got these other things on a bigger level,
Yeah.
it's and you know that even with the whole thing they were talking about, oh, just pipe the oil. It's like there's different types of oil.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? It gets techy. bro.
Yeah.
Then I saw some dude say, instead of, I mean, if they can't go through the Hormuz, so why don't you just get trucks to get the barrels of oil and go around? Like,
They don't understand.
Nigga, no,
They don't have
that's
the quantity of
That's why you work in McDonald's. You know, as a burger flipper, like.
and you need oil to drive trucks. So it's right.
The HGV ain't going in the mountain. Like, them places,
Yeah,
it's not easily.
it sounds good, and yeah, it probably could work you driving through the desert. But again, how much? It's about efficiency, isn't it? Like, yeah, you get a few barrels through, but does that replace the speed?
Someone look at how much barrels in a in one of those super tankers,
Yeah.
because them super tankers are massive.
But then you know what?
It's like the bottle. You put one on Deliveroo.
Yeah. But then even that, so Iran's gonna just say, all right,
Yeah.
just
But they're gonna bomb it, bro.
let it happen. Yeah, just bypass the moves and go for it. No,
Yeah, super tankers.
Yeah, I mean, I actually saw the information on that before,
Right.
and basically, what I was explaining that it's like with the amount of oil they make and produce, it's impossible to have just them in tankers. Like,
You can't. It's too
Yeah,
much. They
and
have to shut down the process.
That's why there's a pipeline.
Yeah, it ain't gonna
You know?
work.
That's the best way, the most efficient way to move the oil
Once
to
they
the
stop
pipeline.
it pumping, it takes time to get it back up and running again.
Yeah.
And another thing, one guy was saying, yo, I love Twitter because it's Edomites. They feel they're so high IQ. He was like, oh, there's so many ships there. Like, just go through the strait. Like, and it's like, brother, do you think these are speedboats? Man, it's like, yo, if we just through the strait and there's loads of us, man can't hit us. It's
Yeah.
like, no, bro, these are like massive
Miles. Yeah.
super tankers that they
Man.
can't turn.
Well,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? They're just-
Yeah, the turning circle of one of them is like it was like 2 kilometers. The turning
Well,
circle.
remember the last time we got shut down? It was just 2 ships.
Yeah.
That was
Turn sideways,
airways.
yeah,
That was it. Was over, blood. Like,
Bro,
you know what I mean?
the way these men were talking about it was like horses, releasing horses, and it's like the Iranians will be trying to catch them, and it just
Bear in mind, they're manned. You know what I mean? People on them.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So there's casualties there. You don't care about
it's
lives.
just straight, bro. You clap 2 and 3-year-old ships, it's just blocking everything, bro. That man's gonna maneuver like one ship.
It's like a car crash on the motorway.
Or you know, like ships are gonna jump over each other like a horse. What are you doing here, bro? Edomites are low IQ. They got no idea how the road works. It sounds good in your head, doesn't it?
I put it down in the Google AI. Put in how many oil barrels in a tanker, and it gives a different size of the tanker. It says oil tanker capacities range from approximately 70,000 barrels for smaller product tankers to over 4 million barrels for the largest ultra-large crude carriers.
How the hell are you gonna replace that with trucks, bro? Where the truck coming from?
Some dude is on
That's
Google
the
Maps trying to find a route. Like, nigga, that ain't working.
Breaking down
Approximately 10 days.
Like, bro, and have you seen the size of them ships?
That's what I'm looking up. No, I think it's bigger than this where we're at now.
Bro, ships.
Yeah.
I've seen
400 meters.
Yeah, I've seen ships, because that part, where I stay in Ghana, or I've stayed before, isn't too far from the ports. So I've seen them ships at the dock, them niggas is like here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's not.
for ages. You've been walking
So
for
they
ages.
can dodge missiles.
Yeah,
Because that alone is maybe what 200 meters, maybe that length there, 200 meters.
Dog will work.
You know what I'm saying? Racetrack.
Racetrack.
Yeah. So it's a racetrack.
super ships, bro. They ain't gonna work.
Yeah. So and even so, a lot of
100%.
the freedom is going to be taken away from people, and lockdowns and all these different things.
Lockdown.
These are all coming, man, and it feeds into the MOTB because that's what they want. They want the surveillance state. They want a reason to come in and crack down
Yeah.
and bring that surveillance in. Man.
Now they've got the meningitis outbreak.
Yeah.
They're talking about students, university students are the biggest spreaders.
How many people have had it? So
Well, apparently, like 4 people that died in Kent or some shit. But they just, well, you know what they're saying? They're saying because it's meningitis B or whatever, no one was really vaccinated, and the people most at risk are uni students.
But the funny thing is, it's like, bro, the Americans just blew up like 160 children or some shit. Like, bro, this is not really relevant. fam.
Yeah.
Like 4 people. And then they get giving people anxiety over that.
Yeah.
You know, kids are coming home and scared.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I had to tell my daughter, like, listen, there's like 9 million people in fucking in London. Like, so they said 6 people turned up to the hospital. Okay. Bro, like, well, that's not even statistically relevant.
Yeah.
Like in any form of
Yeah.
mathematical equation. Like, 26 people turned up to the hospital. Like, yeah. There's 26 people at the bus stop with me right now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like, but he's all going hype up everything to push through his agenda, you know. Don't take the chip. That's what's coming quick. It's gonna come quicker than people think it's gonna come. Because these crises are building on each other.
Yeah.
Holy Christ.
Yeah. And this is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity. Right? It says, with perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Now, just real quick, just to show you the perplexity, right? So this one said, I'm gonna read a couple of tweets here just to lay down. You probably have to do another video on this later. It said nobody's telling you how effed, gotta keep it PG, the farmers are in America right now. Nobody's telling you how effed the farmers are. Okay, man, repeated that for some reason. Caps of that. The Agriculture Secretary just confirmed it publicly. 1 in 4 American farmers has no fertilizer secured for spring planting. No fertilizer, no crops, no food. Farm bankruptcies are up 46% in 2025. 160,000 farms closed since 2017.
It's
Less than half.
that's a big deal, especially like because brothers that have worked in like the dairy or certain sectors. But you see, like we might stop making the product, but it will take a while for your shelves to feel it. So it's like if we look at lockdown and everything that's happened, there's already a gap in supply.
Bro, you see it. You know, when you go into the supermarket, it's not like it used to be.
Even like
There's always gaps, man.
have you brothers that like buy like tin mackerel or sardines? You realize certain brands of it are not even on the shelves. Like, and the prices and what is there, the price is high. Yeah. Gap in supply, bro.
So less than half of all farmers will turn a profit this year. And farmers are down bad out here, bro.
But it's like even building on that, you have a whole load of the Latin tribes that left.
Yeah.
So
Well,
the
they're
far
Yeah, recently they're trying to bring them back.
right.
Yo,
Yeah.
Mike, can you come back?
Yeah, the far because that's it. It's a labor intensive industry.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, remember when we went to the to the wine spot, to Vineyard, right? And they were going into how like you can pay man to England's got vineyards,
Of course,
Yeah.
especially for rich.
but basically it's when you can pay man to actually pick the grapes themselves, or you can get these machines that cost millions. That cost, and that's it. It's like when you look into farming. That's what I always speak about that program because we don't understand the cost of some of these machines.
Farming, I played.
Yeah.
I
Back
don't want
in
to
the
give it
day.
away, but I'll be playing that farming simulator.
Remember
It's expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's proper capital expensive. It says they're not struggling; they're being wiped out and the media is busy covering everything else.
Mm.
And then another one.
It's lucky, and this is why it speaks about easy earning every work. Everything that they're doing is bringing around this collapse, right? Because it's going to fail, right? And added on to but this is all part of the judgment, all part of the paying presence the Most High is bringing upon the earth. But you remember, because we covered it over years back, the Lord's destroying all the crops and stuff like that, and their yield is much lower than they used to be.
Yeah.
And so what they get to keep in store is less and less.
Yeah.
You know, because they can't actually keep up. You know, so they haven't got a big reserve anymore. So when it's gone, it's kind of gone, and they can't now produce more because they're kind of screwed.
Mhm.
So they're gonna run out.
Yeah, but yeah, the military's going to get $200 billion in aid.
I have a quick scripture. This is 2nd Ezra 15, verse 11. But I'll bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before.
So
Right?
you got droughts, you got all the weather issues,
Yeah,
whether it be frost, fires,
Frost.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the pandemic came,
Yeah.
bare cows had to get murked off
Their cows.
and all that kind of stuff.
The abattoir rules as well changed. There's something. There's an issue, right? But there was at least an issue with the abattoir rules where it's like, so then basically like you've got your animals, but you can't just slaughter them any which way. You've got to go to certain abattoirs, and the abattoirs are closing. Then it gets to a point where it's uneconomical to go from your farm to where you can kill the.
Yeah, it's again Agenda 2030. That's all it is. It's the same agenda. That's why they started pushing, demonizing meat,
Yeah.
demonizing eating meat, demonizing it's unhealthy for you. They
Wickedness.
started pushing beyond meat. And all
But
this.
even them they're failing.
Yeah. No,
Because who wants it? Who wants to eat?
No, came out
Fake
with
meat.
So them are bankrupt too, man. So where are you getting these food
But
from?
they already got the idea out there. Man, once they eliminate the real meat and make it way too expensive,
Yeah.
then all you will have is the Soylent Green.
Yeah, and then
cricket milk.
And then remember they actually spoke about putting out bugs that bite people to make your body allergic to meat. Remember they was actually talking about that in Babylon like, a couple years ago. Maybe last year or so.
It's Soylent. You watch that movie Soylent Green,
Yeah.
kind of breaks it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's
these man was struggling for food, and they were having to eat that Soylent Green, and then but if he was rich enough, he was part of the elites. Then obviously you get steak and steak. You know? Let me read this real quick, man. So the International Energy Agency recommends lockdowns, easing the world to individual carbon credits as an exit ramps. Immediate actions to reduce demand, work from home where possible, displaces oil use from commuting, particularly where jobs are suitable for remote work. Now the economy is already starting to move towards that. Like a lot of footfall where people would have from people eating lunch at work and all that. A lot of them places are struggling because people are working from home. So now that's why all the heathens is on the bikes, man, pushing the Deliveroo. And that's how it is now. Like if you go into like a fast food place now, you might walk in there and think, oh, it's empty. I'm gonna get quick service, but it's not because
One man.
there's one man there. But then when you're ordering, you think it's just you. But there's all these
Fucking
apps that are ordering and in and out. So you gotta wait for your food because there's about 50 man have ordered.
and the thing is because those ones are timed. So those ones will be made on time. Whereas they don't mind making you wait.
Yeah.
So it's a new economy now. You're gonna
And they're still having to pay for the property, so shit getting more expensive for them.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know, so eventually it'll go bust eventually.
well, you know what mans are doing now. So there's in America, right? There's a thing now where they're setting up these little warehouses where the kitchen produces multiple brands of food. Yeah, so imagine you had a thing here where them man are equipped to make McDonald's, they're equipped to make Burger King and all the different foods, but it's just like it's not a place you could walk into. They're making them now in America, so you don't actually you can't go in there and order nothing. But in that kitchen, they're trained to do multiple different foods. So yeah, that's the most economical thing to do in the end, isn't it? Just fuse it all into one little warehouse. You don't need a shop window, and if you want the food, you gotta go to Deliveroo or the Uber Eats, yeah. And it's cheaper because then you could set that up in some random warehouse somewhere. And there's a lot of places in London like now that are opening up their food place just in a random storage unit, and the man just Deliveroo in it. The thing, man. You know,
There's a damn bus in Barking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see it the other day. I was like, just got the
Yeah,
bus.
alright, still, you know. Anyway, it says reduce highway speeds limits to 10 miles per hour, that's something they're already doing in London, and that was pre-planned before the C19 thing went out. Because I'm in and around certain industries, so I was already told from long time the plan with London was to get rid of as much actual roads as possible, more bike lanes, turn whole places into purely pedestrian. So they really wanted all down Oxford Street to be pedestrian, where you just walk. The roads just where you walk, right?
That's what they're gonna do.
And speed limits, and then push everybody into the public transport. And if you do use a car, you just rent one quickly, or the bikes. That's why all these places are filled with to the brim with these damn electric bikes, which go quite fast. I ain't gonna lie, like 20 miles per hour. But that was already something that was set up before C19. And when C19 happened, it kind of got accelerated. But now it's going to accelerate even more, because guess what? This oil crisis is highlighting that there's an issue with oil. So reduce carbon footprint means you got less demand on the oil. So it says encourage public transport, alternate private car access to roads in large cities on different days. So what certain days you can't drive into the city. Certain days you can drive.
Well, they make you pay £20 to go into London. Congestion charges.
Congestion.
Sorry to go
Bro,
into the city,
the other day, man. Remember, I had to take my mum to the appointment. Bro, I drove there and back. Cost me £40 in congestion charge.
Damn.
And going through the Blackwall tunnels and shit.
Yeah.
I said I should just taking a cab, bro.
Yeah,
Or
but,
just-
yeah, that's what they but I said they're pushing you towards that, because one of the things that the elder mentioned there is the cutting down of roads. So in London, you're getting and actually a lot all over the country, these places called low traffic neighborhoods, where they'll make, let's say you got a road, you got a left turn, they've changed the rules so that only residents can go down that left turn. So then what you then end up having is, whereas before you could, do a thing, go around,
Yeah, you
make
can't
it,
even do that now.
now you're bottlenecking into traffic. So it's like where I live, you walk faster than the traffic.
Bro,
So then,
I was talking to a black cabbie the other day. He was saying the same thing. They're doing all these bike lanes and all that stuff, and all that ends up happening is everyone's stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Well, you better walk, or
that's it. But
But you're paying congestion charge, so you're not stuck in traffic.
exactly. But then, and that's the thing, and that's the point that I was gonna make is, you have low IQ individuals, right, that hear these plans. Well, got to save the planet. It's okay, cool. But like the brother was saying, what happens when your mom needs to go to hospital? What happens when you need to take your children here, there, and everywhere?
They'll start reducing even more
Yeah,
the demands on the road.
yeah.
That's,
So it's just
AI diagnose you.
It'll just be emergency services and that. So really, they just want to reduce it down to the point where, that's why they got the bus lane.
There's no GPs, so that doesn't know all these situations.
Yeah.
It's like a GPs. It's like everything.
Yeah.
This, the situation is dire, but they're making things more difficult.
Yeah.
Until you could.
Yeah.
Well, we know the agenda of the WF, or nothing, and apparently all your needs are gonna be taken care of. So you're gonna be happy, apparently, right? And this is why all these new builds that there's always like shops underneath them and all that kind of stuff. Like, everything's here.
Everything's here.
Everything's there, right?
The gym's even built into
Pharmacy,
the thing.
yeah.
Brothel.
Hey, boy.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
So the things that you said,
That's a chicken and chop.
Yeah, it's literally a chop bar.
Yeah, man, that's how it is. No, but it's true. And no, they even have, in a lot of them now, I've seen it, they got workspace.
Yeah.
So people can go down and it's a communal space where they're on their little laptop.
Because the truth is, they don't even really want you driving, because there's too much strain on the electrical grid. Right, so they want you to live even that. What you use out of that?
Yeah, because that's that's the thing. So when you talk about the whole electric car thing, that works in China. China has massive electricity generation, not from fossil fuel. In the West, and America can't go full electric. The grid just can't support it. It's like it's impossible.
It can if you reduce.
Well, yeah.
The Georgia guys,
If you half the population, should be right. Let me finish this real quick. So increase car sharing, blah blah blah. Efficient driving, blah blah blah. Avoid air travel where alternative options exist. So that's another thing they're gonna start cutting down on, people's ability to be able to be jet setting and flying to Spain on a quick IB for thing like and all that. Now they're gonna get rid of all that.
That's what. So in France, you already have that law, where if you're in France, you can't, if you can make the journey by train and it takes less than 2 hours, I think, then you can't basically ban all the ability to fly unless you're on a private jet. So if it's a private jet and it's an hour, you can do it. But a commercial jet, you can't fly within an hour within France.
Yeah. So every crisis is going to reduce freedoms. And they're going to bring in the surveillance, the carbon and all that, and that's what all this thing is going to be used for. So see them start rolling up. That means the fuel shortages are going to happen. It's going to happen.
So, but don't worry, because Mark Zuckerberg can get you there in the metaverse.
You're going to go on the VR holidays.
Yeah.
But they showed you that in
Black Mirror.
not just Black Mirror, back in the day with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
The
Well, even Demolition
Total
Man
Recall.
is there as well.
Total Recall.
Yeah,
Total
yeah,
Recall.
yeah,
He was
that's
dying
right.
on holiday, innit?
That's right.
That's what I'm saying, because the VR, you're gonna have a VR gal. You're gonna have to have, because you can't afford nothing in real life. You're gonna have to VR everything, man. VR chaps, VR drip, everything.
And you're gonna need them token to
The
go.
metaverse, yeah, the tokens, because in real life they're gonna say if everything has been brought to the point of a crisis, even the clothes industry is a crisis. It's overproduction of clothes, so they're gonna use that as an excuse to get rid of all the choice. All these mad amounts of different brands, and the women are buying like colors, flipping 50 million different like clothes, and then getting rid of them all and getting a whole set the next month. That's all going to be done away with, man. You know,
One after you.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and the 17, 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagines how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
yeah, that pit is this new system that they want to bring about, and this new system is slavery. It's basically we're going to control everything that you do. Everything's going to be tracked, traced, and surveilled. You can't you can't cross over that road to go over there because you don't. They call it geotagging. Even your money won't be able to be used in certain places. So you'll have your money on your chip, but the money on your chip can only be used in a certain geographical area, or you can't use it.
Like, for instance, to prove that technology is already here, you know, when you look in your banking after you made a payment, it'll be like, you made that payment here. You know, it knows where you made it.
And then they ask you, is that you? Because it's a bit strange.
It's unusual that you're there. Yeah, the smart money.
Yeah, mind your business.
Me and saying here, man.
No.
Huh?
After paying off.
Now they're saying that the British are saying, oh, because of this whole Dubai thing, they highlighted. And why do you think they did that? They highlighted all these people are over there in Dubai. They got a British passport, so they want all of the trappings that come with being a British citizen, but they're not paying no tax. So we're gonna make it where if you go, as long as you got a British passport, you're gonna be taxed in the UK.
That was always the plan.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
America does the same thing.
America does the same thing, and a lot of EU nations. And that's the thing. It's like it's no longer lucrative to be in the Western
Guess what?
nations.
There ain't gonna be no tax haven. You just have your chip. They have your allocations, your universal basic income, and this is what's coming, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is what's coming. Elon lied, man. He said, "Oh, this AI and everything is gonna be abundance. What you just wait and see. There is so much for everybody." No, it's all about less for everybody. That's what the Agenda 2030 says. Less consumption, less production.
Yeah, this tip on your skin says you don't need steak. Just some like a small bowl of salad of peanut.
Yeah.
And that's it. No, but I'm hungry though. No.
Your calorie, your day, you've met your day, your what's it called? Your recommended daily calorie value.
RDAs.
It's good for you to maintain your health,
Yeah.
and then all that BMI. But well, you remember Matrix? A man was eating that crap. Man's like, oh, it's got all the essential vitamins and minerals that the body needs.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, at the very least, you know what I mean? Everyone gonna be lean, innit? You know what I mean?
No obesity is the problem.
Revelation 13:16. And it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So they're going to control everything. That commerce, transaction, everything they're going to be able to control, everything about it. Whether you can buy, where you buy, what you can buy, how much of it you can buy. And that's going to come through crisis. And the crisis, oh, well, you see, everyone's panic buying. So we need to stop, people from buying this amount and doing that. That's what it is. That's what's going to come down. Oh, don't worry. We got a system where we can control it. It's automatic. Like I had it in France. What people were doing was they were saying you can only come in and buy like a certain amount of bread, right? So what man were doing is they'd go in, buy it, and then when they come out, they send their wife in.
Yeah.
So what to fix that? They started doing a family thing, grouping them together. So when you go in there, that's it. So that's what it's all about. They're gonna have your digital ID. They're gonna know who's in your family, how many people are in your household. That they have to know everything about everyone. You have to be registered. Once they know, they're gonna know your height. They're gonna know your biometrics. They're gonna know everything.
Know your relations.
Yep.
Which is one of the things I always warn brothers about when you're sharing links from social media, especially like TikTok will blur the URL. So then when someone else is opening it, it will then like switch to a shared URL. So Twitter, so TikTok will not. Okay, cool. So TikTok's a bit harder to do, but like at the end of like say Instagram links, YouTube links, Instagram will have something that says IGSH. Everything after that is saying, okay, it's come from me. And then I said it to you, so it's like, okay, these two people know each other. And it's creating a web of who knows each other. Exactly, right? Which is why, for instance, like right now I'm not on the socials. But let's say someone will send me a thing, will say, oh, follow so and so.
Yeah. Oh, is that why it says that?
That's why it's doing it, because at the end of the URL, in what you're sharing, there'll be like
who's been sharing.
Exactly. That's why like you just take there 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 are websites that help you strip a URL before you share it. But so if bros are doing clips from social media and you're putting in a description, just be very careful of that, because everyone's going to click and be like, oh, that's so and so or whatever, what have you. So but all of that is to create a web of who knows who is who's who.
And that's why Palantir has been incorporated into the American government and all, because they're getting ready to unleash a system. Trump is pushing the voter ID system, which is basically digital ID.
And on the digital ID thing, because I used to work with a guy from Estonia, and he basically was in Estonia. They've had digital ID for the longest time, right? And then the way when Britain will start talking about digital ID, he was like, oh, I don't get why everyone's so against it. Everyone else in the office, I don't get. Sometimes you feel like you're about to get drawn in. I was like, let me not get drawn in. Because they don't understand that these systems are being designed and built to ensnare you. Okay, cool. It allows you to do your taxes quicker.
But that's why they start off in these smaller nations, man, because they're not bothered. It's not a big a deal.
Exactly.
Right? That's not the main market they want to move it to. But if they got a case precedent already that, it works in Estonia, kind of thing, and it's not a big deal, then what's the reason for not doing it everywhere else?
Exactly.
It's like, because then we look stupid, we don't want it. Like, but why? Them man are all right. Not knowing the grander plan of it.
The whole system ain't online yet. Hey, it's Psalm 64 and what it says. Oh, is this the one? No, it's not 64.
6.6?
Yeah, 64 and 6. No, it was meant to be the heart of deep. I've done the wrong one. Sorry. Yeah, that's wrong. That's in Isaiah.
I mean, I can still read the precept in Psalm 64.
Yeah, go on.
All right, this is Psalm 64 and 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection.
Oh, it is 64.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. So when we talk about these secret councils, I mean, these elites that have planned this for a very long time.
Sounds like a conspiracy.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you got conspiracy theories and you got conspiracy facts, because eventually the theory becomes a fact.
And it's pretty much
it's already here.
But they don't what they do is they get people caught up with the characters, the reality TV personalities they call politicians, and get people. That's what Trump is great at. Trump is great at tweeting at. If you notice, they've changed the whole mechanism of how politics has become even more of a reality TV show than reality TV. Like if you like this, the tweets, it's like, bro, it's like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's pure sensationalism and drama constantly. It's like it never even used to be like that. That's because it's maximum confusion and distraction from the reality. But then when these think tanks who are actually running things make their 500-page flipping dossier on how they're gonna ruin your life, that won't get no attention. But Trump putting out a tweet will. Oh yeah. Trump says, "Yeah, fuck this bitch." Is that how can you say that? Oh, people are all getting sensationalized.
NATO account.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy doesn't it seem like fucking what you're watching EastEnders, bro? It's like this guy's just talking.
He's good at drawing attention.
He's good at drawing it because he's a TV personality.
And even since some of these like reels that they post will like use like a future track or Drake. It'll be the official US White House, and then it'll be used, and then people, he's dropping a diss, Trump's dropping a diss track to fucking Iran.
It's literally like you're watching reality TV because it is now. Because don't forget, that's what Trump is. Trump is a reality TV star. He had a show. It was called You're Fired. Then he was on WWE. Now that they're just showing you that the White House is nothing more than a fucking reality TV spectacle. Just like when Zelensky was in there. Your man's going to need help one day, no? And they were arguing. And what did Trump say? Oh, this is gonna make good TV. But that's what it was. It's just something to get you focused on them. Meanwhile, behind the closed doors, Palantir and all these things are lining up and coming together for your enslavement. But you're worried about, Trump insulted some woman on the TV. You're a very stupid woman, you know that. It's like, what the fuck is this? Oh, someone posted it by accident. No, it's just they want to. It's reality. It's no different to Kim Kardashian. They have constant drama and things like 50 Cent. They're constantly pushing out some kind of drama to gather your attention, and it will make it controversial as much as they can.
But again, like I say, distractions.
Distractions.
But
the MOTV,
they love confusion. They love pushing confusion.
But the MOTV
have you arguing about it? But they're still progressing.
With Cat Williams, like with that whole Cat Williams shit, it's coming out, and it's like, well, bro, you was there too. Like,
don't lie.
I was in the back.
I left early.
No, they all left. Everyone says they left.
I've got a Netflix special, but I'm not juiced in. Exactly.
And furthermore, where is Cat Williams? He was supposed to be the great exposer.
But what did he expose?
Kanye was meant the Jews were trying to kill him and all this stuff,
and he's back.
And the nigga's still rich and he's still doing everything he's doing. It's all bullshit, man. Don't believe these people.
Back in Revelation 13, verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the
And
number of
it's clear to see how this system is geared that way. Because
AI
can cut you the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like the way everything is modded.
Chinaman, no.
Yeah, exactly.
These new banking apps, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, you go into the spending insights. They got you locked down. They know what you spend on,
the
budgeting.
revenue.
Yo, they're onto you, man.
You frequent here like 3-4 times a week. Like they know you.
They're onto you, man.
Yeah. Like
Local shop where you go to.
You could put spending limits. You could put spending limits. You could put withdrawal limits.
You don't even control.
wines, like it just shows the spreadsheet of everywhere you put wine.
Well, once again, the way the security thing works. London's very contactless. The way the security thing it works, where every now and then you just be like, oh shit, put in your PIN. Sometimes it's just to remind you what your PIN is.
Biometrics.
But it's like when you're basically spending in places where you're not, so where it's doing an algorithm check. So this is not normal. You know, I remember
Straight up.
some. Oh yeah, I was out with the Arkin one time. It was late. Went to a shop. Bang! was like, yo, we need your pin. Yeah, so you ain't out here at this time. What's going on? You know.
And then like we spoke of before,
Verify yourself.
now you could do all your banking in one app.
Yeah.
No, to a certain degree. Like most banking apps now are interoperable. Yeah, they're interoperable systems. So you can see all your bank accounts in one. Yeah, Halifax is basically the same fucking bank. But it's crazy. But it's then like in my main app, I've got my credit card, everything. I can see all my accounts there, like in one place. You couldn't do that before. Now it's just that one thing. Yeah.
And the worst thing is, you know, it's because of the situation how we get paid, right? The whole PAYE system, right? You don't get to see your money first. They do. It's in their account. It's not in your account. It's in their account that you have access to. So you don't get money in your hand. So if they want to lock you out, they can lock you out. And you can't do nothing about it because the money's not going to
a bank account.
You need a bank account, right?
Yeah.
So that's the criminal thing about it. You know, because Lisa don't want that. He wants to be able to control the flow of everything, man. You know,
But HMRC is getting new powers.
New powers, yeah.
Yeah, that's how the game goes, man.
Yeah.
So all the black market is going to be squeezed out, but that's Esau's market anyway. They're just taking it over even more.
18. He is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 threescore and 6.
This is the carnal, the number of the carbon, the carnal man, the number of the flesh, man. That's Esau Edom, man. So all these things that we're seeing is also leading towards the MOTB, because the MOTB is going to come through crisis. That's the way they're going to get people to accept it. It's a crisis. We need to bring this system online because this is what's gonna save everyone. This is what's gonna help us to control the resources. This is what's gonna help us to bring security.
Get back to normal.
Get back to normal. Yeah,
New normal, isn't it?
right. This is what they're gonna be rolling with.
You know, I know that REL has mentioned it before as well. But this idea of most people out here actually will just take it.
100%.
No resistance. Just,
Okay, all right. Put it this way: how many people rely on social media for their job or the way they survive now is social media? A lot of people. There's people that have had their accounts, blocked for whatever reason, and they're cooked.
Yeah. Oh, like when Trump first tried to block TikTok.
Yeah.
And then all of them Americans were crying, man.
Yeah, because you've given up your job. You know what happens usually with these people that do the online thing is they do it as like a hobby, and then eventually they start making enough money where they start doing it for a living, and now your whole income and your life is based on your social media. So if you get rid of that, now you need to go find a job. Now you go, and then you might not even find a job that makes as much money as you're making on the social media. So how many people, if they said to them, well, to access your Instagram or to access your Twitter or to access your Facebook, like all these things that they're addicted to now as well, because they're also addicted to Instagram. That's their life. Their whole image is this thing. If they said, "Oh, you're gonna have to have a digital ID to access it," they'll definitely accept it then. And then the next step to push it on is like, okay, well, you got to have this chip.
Yeah. With what once again building on that, the new thing now is stopping young people under 16 or 18 or whatever using social media. But then really what they're saying is everyone needs to verify to use social media.
Yep.
Outside and outside of that,
exactly. Because you need to prove that you're not 16 and on, right? To be able to use it. You know,
it's same with these
some countries, Australia,
these porno websites, right? They now you have to verify to go watch them in. So man have to sign in now and give all their information, right? So those that really, really badly want it, they're gonna put their details in it and you be put on record.
So then imagine you got food.
It's an addiction because they're not addicted, isn't it?
Well, imagine you got food, or imagine you're in a situation where you are is unsafe, and they're saying, "Oh, you can come to this safe haven where all this security is." Yeah, but when you come there, you're gonna have to get chipped. Why not gonna do it? Because you want to save your life. You want to access the government cheese, which I found something out about that American government cheese. You know, shit. No, the government cheese was actually created because of milk. They had all these milk farmers producing milk here, and so the government was subsidizing the milk. But it's like they didn't know what to do with it. So it's like, okay, we need to store the milk. So they converted it all to cheese and just stored it away in these damn bunkers. kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then there was a point where we don't need this stuff.
Yeah.
So how do we get rid of it? And then that's how you ended up with government keys. We give it out as welfare to get rid of it. And that's how they ended up giving away it was an interesting story, man. You get up the government keys. But yeah, that's what people are gonna be relying on. Even now, listen, food banks are all over the place.
The lines are crazy, bro.
It's
I
bare
feel like
food
going to a club, bro. A nigga look the door house bouncer, hey, stay over there. Ladies getting first.
I know in Barking there's at least four bread lines in Barking,
Damn.
regular, every day.
Yeah.
At least 4 bread, because the Salvation Army runs one. And there's one that's run out where the library is. There's another one that's run out of that place, you know, where that's next to the laundrette. They sometimes they do, sometimes they do a bread line in there, and there's another bread line that comes out the other church. Yeah, there's a lot of bread lines, man. Regularly you see bread lines. And more people are talking about it because even in the UK, I think supermarket prices went up 60% in the last 2 years, and you can see it.
Crazy, bro.
Eggs, everything, man. You go to the supermarket and you got a decent sized family, man. You got to drop £160 or something like that a week. You know what I mean? Just to get the stuff that you need, man.
Yeah. But imagine those prices are gonna go up even more.
They're gonna go up even more. So a lot more people are gonna go into food poverty. Yeah, and they're gonna need, they can't get the universal, and that's gonna be a crisis. The crisis is more and more people that can't get universal credit are gonna fall beneath the line, because there comes a point where you're earning a certain amount of money that you can't get welfare to help you no more. There's a cap. You can't even get, but there's people in that bracket right now that are basically getting brought down lower and lower and lower to the point where they're gonna need help, but they're not gonna have no help, and that's gonna lead to, well, we need to help everybody. Everyone can sign up for something.
Can I read this quick? It's from Genesis 47. I'm not going to read the whole story, but just this point, verse 20. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field because the famine prevailed over them. So these, this perfect storm of disaster, right, is going to prevail over the people, man, and they're going to give all their right, all their liberties and over to the government to manage it, so they can survive and stuff, man. And so they're going to take the MOTB. They're going to want that universal basic income, because they're going to want to, get their rations and whatever.
Okay, they say they're going to need.
They're going to need it.
Yeah,
they're going to need it. Because like every else we've been discussing, there's a knock-on effect to everything. Right, and it's still having an impact in these last days. Yeah. Right, and this is why everybody's going to be suffering, not just third world nations, because they already suffer. We know this, right? But the first world, right? Yeah. Man and women walking down the street, they're going to be suffering. Man, I've got good jobs, are going to be suffering. Yeah. Because they're not eventually going to not be able to keep up with the price rises.
It's like in something I always say about this idea of, like, if a guy and his missus both earn 100 grand each, they're going to buy a house akin to me and my wife earn 100 grand each.
But that's the thing you do. Like, you earn that much money, you sell a house and whatever.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So they'll buy a house for someone who's got a combined income of 200k, right? So it's like when this economy is crashing more and more, like people may look at them and be like, oh, well, how are they struggling? Look at their house, look at where they live. But it's because they bought to their range, right? Based upon I'm trying to make is everyone is going to be hurt, regardless of where they're perceived in terms of the financial hierarchy, man.
Because the thing is, at the time they bought the property, it was in their range. But through time, inflation and crisis and that, the house becomes out of range. But they're locked in. They're locked in it. And so that mortgage that they could have comfortably before now, not so comfortable now. And now it's eating into other things now. Because they might have had a car on finance and all these different types of things, and now they're just kind of fucked. Now they have to give up these things. But the house is the last thing you want to give up. Because
then it's like, it's how easy can you even sell it? In London, they've got these flats that they started building, right? And some of these flats, as kind of touched on before, are going for crazy money. But then on top of that, it's like they've got service charges on top, right? So let's say you got mortgages, whatever, but then your certain service charges be going £600-700 a month. So then you got certain people that's like, they may want to buy the house, then they hear that's the service charge. I ain't paying for that. So then those people now can't sell their house.
What happens if all these Chinese people and all that own houses and all these Arabs, their own houses over here in London. What if they decide they just want to sell up and take their capital elsewhere?
But that's one of the things. Like, you know how they changed the immigration rules in the UK. It was to do with like students coming over. Forget the interest, I won't go into it. Right, but you're gonna start seeing more and more students not coming to the UK.
Yeah, they're
Right.
already suffering actually
Yeah.
from that.
But
So the university said not making as much money.
exactly. So then imagine then those properties that would normally be bought by those Chinese students or whatever. Those students ain't coming no more. Who's gonna buy them?
I said, we need houses, but can't afford it.
Yeah.
You know, the people out here need houses, they can't afford it. The job's not good enough.
Mm.
You know, because the jobs being done away with. AI is replacing all the good jobs.
Yeah.
So like, what is anyone supposed to do then? You know, but as I said, big daddy government's going to come in and give you some options. You know, all of them going to lead to the mark of the beast. You know, finish in Revelation.
Oh, so if I can just get the definition of the mark.
Yeah.
Charagma for mark, then I'll go into the root word. So this outline of biblical usage, a stamp, an imprinted mark of a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist.
All right, so we know the Neuralink, you know, in terms of this technology being put in the head. Okay, but the most common thing is going to be the hand, right? Which is, people are already running around with that already. So you know that's not really nothing new.
Strong's definition, it says a scratch or etching, a stamp as a badge of servitude.
Well, the keys in the word in the flesh, in the hand, are not on, but in. These things will be implanted. You know,
And it's look at the status of money. There's not much left. Look at money going from notes to cards that you can swipe and all that contactless. It's contactless, bro. Like,
money like that.
what's more contactless than it being in your body? You know what I mean? Listen, cards
Wave your
spread germs, innit? Phones, touch your phone, touch your face, just wave your hand.
Yeah.
Hello. That was what they were saying.
Cash hold germs.
Yeah, cash holds germs, but it's best thing
Just
you
get
can
rid of
do
it. Don't need it.
to save the planet, because the paper, well, now plastic.
Yeah, multiple benefits.
Well, put it in your hand.
And it makes you look like you've got superpowers.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel cool.
Yeah.
I know Kung Fu, right? Now if you want to learn Korean, just upload it into your brain, man. No? That's it.
Sharpen to a point with the idea of scratching, palisade or rampart. So, yeah.
And the palisades are dug into the ground, like fairly deep. You know what I mean, to hold it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be inside you, bro. So it has to penetrate the skin and I say we see how they do it. You see the tattoo artists and how they jab your hand and they push the thing in it, bro. It's exactly how it's described.
Which people are desensitized to the needle anyway, because half of these demons are got a flipping tattoo. It's funny whenever you see them doing it, it's a tattoo artist, not like an actual medical professional.
Yeah. I just looked up some information. It was Arthur Robot says when someone buys a house, how much buffer does someone usually give themselves? For example, do most people go to the top of their budget or something else? It said moderate buyers most common spend 5 to 15% below their max, leave some breathing room. Right. Then further down it says reality check. In high cost areas like London, many people do stretch to the max of their budget just to get on the ladder.
But they are being stretched through the price.
Exactly. So then, once again, when the interest rates went up, or the man that will cook,
Well, that story.
or the man that will hurt.
Ridiculous, bro. He's suffering to pay the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. I might have to end up just squatting in the end, man.
Mhm.
You can't stop me.
Yeah.
Charge it.
Yeah.
Charge it.
Well, the thing is, like, you've got the new renters' rights bill coming in May, I believe it is. So it's one of them ones where it's like, if you're a landlord and you've got a good tenant, you might as well just keep your guy. It's like the new rules are just basically like, you now have to go through a long-winded process to evict someone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. So it's like when you're this may come in. But so then it's like it's really so what that's going to end up doing is it's going to make a whole load of landlords basically be like, oh, actually, it's no longer financially economical for me to stay on this landlord thing. Let me just sell up and start seeing a whole.
My landlord was crying about like he got to work 50 hours and that kind of stuff. Like, he's living in his mom's. Like, I'm renting his yard. Like, he's staying at his mom's, working 50 hours. He goes. He said, I'm winning. I was like, bro, you got to own a house. I don't own shit. I'm renting from you. How am I winning? You're working bare hours. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, these landlords are suffering, man.
They're suffering.
But this is what happens when you don't own nothing.
Yeah.
But these men want to buy things before they even own it. You know what I mean? And rent it out before they even own it. So they're dependent on the person paying rent to keep them afloat. That's not how it should be.
And even on squatters, even if you're trying to sell the house, if someone's squatting in there, you can't keep them out. That's
not how they got rights to be there.
Someone I know, right? Actually asked me a couple of weeks ago to come and like be a presence to squatters that was basically they've been trying to sell a house from October, but these Syrian family who they had as tenants before, they're basically squatting in, like as in they're tenants, but they were refusing to leave.
Overstaying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, I went there with a Jake, like, not on no violence, just being the presence. Like, look, they want to sell the house now. You go, bro. They've missed out on 6 buyers. 6 buyers to buy the house because these squatters don't want to go.
Yep.
So it's someone like, even if you sell your house, if someone decides to squat, you have to go to court.
Which most people can't afford to.
Yeah.
And
fucked.
And on it is one of them ones where a lot of, if you're a landlord, you got a tenant that's paying rent, even if it's not what you don't necessarily, it's better to just keep them. Yeah. Because then when you try, go to someone else, right? And then that person stops paying you, it's going to take that 6 months where you've got to pay your mortgage. And you're getting nothing in.
I can already tell that he's cooked.
He's got the plan hatched already.
I was negotiating every year. I was like, nah, that's a bit too high. You might bring it down a bit. Just hold it back a bit. But it's like, I know I'm paying a good price for the area. So it's like, it's not a deep
looks. House now, nigga.
Look for the winners. Bare
They got to listen, right? Because you can make life expensive for them.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes you do have like an unspoken thing, like certain repairs don't get done the official way, that cost them more money, kind of stuff. You meet in the middle somewhere, innit? You could just like, no, I ain't dealing with it. I'm gonna tell the estate agent that this needs to be done, and they're gonna make you do the whole thing proper. So like you can have the conversation with them, keep your rent low or lower.
Yeah, definitely. Like Arkham's, it's going to get expensive here come this April. So if you have to
negotiate
for the
new financial, everything, and everything's going to go up. Yeah, and it's the point is just basically try and negotiate some of the things like with your landlord, especially if you're someone who's always paid your rent on time and stuff like that. Just they ain't gonna the landlords themselves, they know what time it is. If you're a good tenant, they ain't gonna want to push it up too much. They ain't gonna want to take the piss because the next person may not pay them. And they know that. I've got one up too.
The age 16.
Yeah.
Start with 17.
Yeah, I was same precept then.
16 from 17.
Okay. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and the great mournings, the beginning of famine and the great death.
Yeah, and people don't even know the whole process of famines here, because you've had gaps in supply, plagues, pestilences for years. You know what I mean? Like, really, COVID is 2020. 6 years straight. Factories, farms, the crazy situation with the
Appreciating money supply.
whatever, appreciation in the money supply. A lot of shit's been happening. And the brothers who, have to do a lot of food shopping or whatever. You notice, bro, a lot of shit just vanished off the shelf.
Yeah, man,
Like,
it's
it's strict ration, but a lot of shit has vanished. Actual brands on the shelves don't exist no more. Like, where is this shit? And then you type it in, and Tesco, oh, it's out
No
of
longer
stock.
available.
It's no longer available, bro.
Yeah, limits on how much you can buy as
Limits
well.
on how much you can buy.
You know,
I mean,
no, so it's like, because like obviously when I get my bottled water, and so I get a Tesco delivery, but it's like now you're limited. You're limited. With certain things. Okay, you can only buy certain, like, let's say it's 3 sets of water, bottled water that they're gonna allow you to ship. You know, rather
That's
deliver.
why brothers are gonna start both buying a Costco, both buying everything here. Right, the speak out here. Yeah, straight gonna suffer.
Yeah.
Suffering. Well, keep going with that, man. This is a good scripture, right?
The beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and the great death.
And remember, the Lord said we played Egypt as before. Now, I actually did it before. I put like the economic impacts of the plagues in Egypt, the actual plagues that took place in Egypt. And then it just gives you a breakdown of how, like, the mindset of the people, the finances and expenses, food and famine. So that's the same thing that's already happening, because, like, Babylon is vast, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the shit happens every day. And even in this system in which we live, there's a lot of shit happening every day, but farms, again, many things are closing down.
And in the same way back then as well, they didn't believe it was going to happen. All the things that Moses told Pharaoh, he was like, "That ain't going to happen." In the same way the prophets now tell you all these things are about to happen. No one really believes that this world, these nations are going to be in this situation here because they think their houses are going to continue forever. Right? They don't think they're going to get to a point where they're going to have to be scavenging for food. Yeah, you know what I mean?
One of the things which I say a lot is, like, in the minds of these people, things have always got better. So they may look at the Great Depression. Oh yeah, well, we came out of that.
Yeah.
They'll look at 2000. Oh yeah, we came out of that. Cycle.
That's it. Yeah, but it's true. What you're saying is people don't. It's not the end. They always say, "Oh, it's not the end of the world." But this time, so man, it's sensational stuff. But like I always say, you still got to stay patient, still got to stay grounded. But it's looking spooky still, man. We love it that way, man. We're here for the horror show. Hey, in Iran, it's spooky right now because they're gonna just dropping bombs on Iran indiscriminately. So they're suffering right now. But don't think Iran's gonna suffer alone. Eventually, this whole bomb thing is gonna go worldwide with it. Don't think they're going. You see the video with the woman?
Yeah,
man. That's a double tap too. So Esau's a demon.
Came
Man.
right back.
It's a double tap. You're not allowed to do double taps, man. So that's evidence right there. If you hit a position, you're supposed to just okay, cool, it's done. You're not supposed to wait for man to come and try and grab people out and then hit it again. But that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that because what they're really doing is terrorizing the Iranian people. You're terrorizing the emergency services. But they're not supposed to be scared to go to a building that's been bombed to grab people out the rubble. But now it's like, oh shit. Like, if I go try and save people's lives, they're double tapping on that shit, man. That's wickedness. In East, even in Esau's kingdom, that's their rules. But they've got rid of their own rules to do what they want to do. But don't think Iran's gonna suffer alone. Oh no, they're not gonna suffer alone. This destruction is gonna go, it's gonna spread. But that shit was crazy though, man. And even see when the British dude got hit by the bridge.
Yeah. Oh, the guy, the press guy.
Man.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bro, he was thankful that you
Going like,
hear him go fucking out. Like, bro, that guy's probably.
Yeah, but you see how Esau's a menace. So he could cause all this death and destruction, but he so why don't he isn't demonized as a thug? This is I don't sidetrack, but it just gets me angry the way Esau gets away with not only that, but everyone's talking about how Trump and these guys are just chatting breeze. It's like, hold on, these men are playing with people's lives. These men are doing things and making decisions on a daily basis that real life individuals are losing their grandmothers, their mothers, their children, and it's like winked at as like, oh, When let you do let some African warlord be doing something. Oh my God, like these people are crazy. They're insane. Like
They have to go save Nigeria. Like,
Tony took 2012.
Yeah.
Stop.
let Jake do
Tony.
bro. Imagine if you acted in this reckless. You caused a whole war in the midst of negotiations. How's come he's not DEI then?
Yeah.
If it's Jake, oh, gee, that's what happens when you hire a black man.
Yeah.
Third world and monkey. Well, hold on. Your man just messed up the negotiations and causing all this death and destruction, gas prices, global chaos, yeah? And it's like, oh, the white man's not to blame. No, but let Jake get mess up a party, bro. Let Jake mess up a club. Yeah, and it's just like we're the worst vermin there has ever been. These men have they globalized their terror, man, on the people of the earth.
yeah, and but that's it. So what the elders going in, you got certain people in some countries, they just wanted to chill. Like for instance, I got family in like Sri Lanka. I was messaging her. She was like, petrol's like we're gonna have like 13-hour potential rolling blackouts, right? 13 hours and that.
Which increases crime.
Yeah.
It increases people dying because there's people in hospitals, and sometimes those hospitals have emergency generators. Sometimes they don't. Like in Cuba, there's people who's right now they got blackouts and stuff. People who got life-saving surgeries had to be cancelled, so they're dying off the back of that. And and these guys Trump are like, yeah, we're blocking the energy from Cuba. Yeah, in another way, that's another way of saying, yeah, we're killing poor people. And it's just like no one's even recognizing that, bro, you're killing people. You're bringing women have been raped off the blackouts. Like if there weren't no blackout, they would have been fine, real fine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? Now there's crime, people getting robbed, getting stabbed, gangs of things that would have happened to people that wouldn't have happened if you didn't do this.
Escalate danger.
And they're just talking about it on the TV like it's casual. But then Vocab Malone and these guys are GMS, they're the worst, they're the problem. So what are we, nigga, what else doing? Who have we harmed? Most Jake have a very localized effect on shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Esau's just globally just messed everyone up.
Can I get a precept quick?
Yeah, no.
Psalm 73. I'm gonna read from verse 6, right? It says, therefore pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covers them as a garment. Their eyes stand up with fatness, they have more than heart can wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. So your lives are forfeit to them. They don't really care about the damage they're doing to people and lives and the effect on the world. They don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, America's got an agenda, or Israel's got an agenda.
Yeah,
right? And that's what we're gonna do.
It's like, who
Who cares what happens to the rest of the world?
yeah, it's fine to sort of. I mean, to be honest, if we didn't sort of
Someone else would have done it.
someone else would have done it. That's even them small hats. Them small hats that go into Palestinian homes,
Yeah.
bro. That's the most fucked up video.
That's in the same spirit. You know what I'm saying?
He's just staying in your shed. He's just living in your back garden, and then he's just in your room, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I
said the pita bread was still hot.
Yeah.
Man took the yard and there was hot pita bread. Hot naan bread, yeah, straight out of the fucking kiln.
And like,
Still hot.
it's a Jew. It's a Jew from Stamford Hill. He was back.
But
In the yard.
But it's funny though, because now they can't. Well, actually, no, I do think there are some flights out. But it's like now they're going through terror, and you'll see them having the nerve to be online, being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Iran is doing this. Is what you do around the world,
Bro. Man, just in your yard, in your fridge. He's wearing your boxes. Drinking your orange juice.
Nah, he's wearing your mum's knickers. That's what he's doing.
That's
That came out about the IDF was doing.
Yeah. You didn't see that?
Very valid question.
No, bro. No, it was when they were slaughtering people at house to house. Bro, they would be wearing their full uniform and wearing the panties over their shit. They're just and then like, bro, it's fucked.
Yeah, but you know what it is, dude? That's why the IDF. This is the thing about the IDF. It's a bunch of students. Listen, bro.
Yeah,
Hezbollah and them man are waiting for you. You see where man have been hiding behind all this high tech, yeah? I can't wait. The most I gonna make you man go for this ground game, you know. And you see the ground game, yeah, it's gonna get dark, man. But these dudes are pissed off. Yeah, these man. What one guy was saying it straight. He's like, listen, when these man, when you go into Lebanon or go into Iran, you man are thinking about your life. You're thinking about your gal that you got back at home. Said Abdul and them guys don't care about Fatima, bro. Them man want to kill you. that's their main focus in life is to go to Valhalla through killing you. You man are gonna you be going through it out there because all that tech stuff is failing these days. You go back into the old school, the Saving Private Ryan things, yeah. We're gonna see how much heart you got. Because them man were already scared to go into Gaza. They didn't really want to go in there. It's how it's spooky to go in there.
They did scared, but
Bro,
yeah.
we're gonna find out, man. Because these Arabs there, they really do want to kill you.
Crazy. What did the Iranian FM say? We'll be waiting.
They want the opportunity, bro. You know that African guy, you come close enough to touch, I fucking
With certain things, like when the man says certain things, you need to know to chill, innit? From the time they heard my man saying we'll be waiting, ceasefire.
These are raw, hardened breads. Even a lot of them Iranians, bro, they're raw breads, but and they hate.
They used to be Persian immortals, man. These guys used to be in the army together and things.
And that's what the same spirits coming back. That's why even it was seen as
pedigree.
That's why when Alexander the Great was conquering, they was like, this nigga crazy.
We've got women in the You guys are
You know what I mean? Get them passion.
When you look at some of the way that America recruits for their army, right? It's people that are like, oh, just come join the army, your uni will be paid for. Don't worry about it.
bro.
Exactly.
Pay to get certain
You know, a couple of people who I know that have done it.
They've done it, and but it's obviously
But
It's a good time.
yeah, but you know what it is? It's like that. That's why, for instance, they will tell you, "Oh yeah, Russia's been struggling with Ukraine to keep that image of no one even comes close. We go to war, don't worry about it. It's done quick." So people believed in that lie. They're thinking, "Oh yeah, I'll just do 4 years, calm, nothing's gonna happen."
Well, you get this, America and NATO spend all this money to help Ukraine just to fight to a standstill.
Yeah.
Russia's still kind of progressive.
If Russia wanted to, if Russia wanted to level Ukraine, it could have done that. It could have done that. It's like it's really not that big a deal.
but that's why you got Isaiah 34, man. Isaiah 34. These nations are gonna go at it. Isaiah in 2nd and 16th chapter. Their dead bodies are gonna be. Listen, the Lord is gonna put the spirit on these armies to go at it properly. And I'm sorry to say to you Americans and the Edomites here, but a lot of you, them are gonna die. But a lot of you are gonna die too. You're gonna die in numbers unknown to mankind, and you're gonna have to do a draft to bring more man to die.
Yeah.
So that's how the game is gonna be. You've been too used to the easy road.
I always say it's like we were at war with Afghanistan for 20 years. We never felt it here.
Yeah.
That's always been over there.
And they were in a proper war.
Exactly.
Afghanistan, them man weren't serious, but they were just hard to root out. But Iran and these men over there, they're a different type of beast, man. And them man have got armaments and defenses all up in them spooky hills, and they're waiting to. They've been planning for years for you to come on their turf, man. It's a cold.
About it, salivated.
You know when you go Stoke City away, blood, and they're ready for you.
It's terrible.
You know what it was?
Very high.
Yeah, they've done everything to stop you playing. They ain't cut the bro.
Short in the pitch.
Yeah, bro, everything's working against you, bro. Trust me, like it's cold. They're ready, but
And what's the name throwing a big ass
No.
long throws?
the ball's just constantly up in the air, blood. It's mad. 50-50s, but let's see.
So I read this out from Isaiah 47, verse 8. It says, "Therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me."
Yeah, the American male is given unto pleasure. The average American male is basically either trying to be a Casanova, so the only thing they care about is chasing females, or they're an incel, so they're just on the video games. They play Call of Duty. They're not really they're not really got a mindset for war, and they're not really patriotic anymore either. They're like fluffy guys, man. They're not ready for nothing. They don't stand for nothing. You know what I mean? This is the reality of what it is. This is the American military has been living off a few good men.
Yeah.
You got a few good raw men and tech.
Movies.
Movies and tech.
movies.
You know, air support, higher air superiority. Like he's not just packed full of Spartans,
Nah.
full of man that's gonna charge down gun turrets, man. And you don't really have a lot of those. And I'm hearing you got a lot of guys now conscientiously objecting from the war, because guess what? Everyone kind of found out 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of veterans even now. They do podcasts and they're actually like, bro, a lot of my friends died and it was the war over nothing.
And the Taliban still came back.
And the Taliban, and that hurt them. Then they let the Taliban come back, they're like, "Rah, man, when he went over there, I've got my body's legs missing. 5 of my brethren have committed suicide." It's real. These men have real. Like, hold on, like, and they go on podcasts and they tell people. So even the guys that's in the military now, they're listening to these guys. Like, hold on, these men had these men for cannon fodder. We're in here. They're trying to send us to war. Why am I want to fighting for Israel? A lot of them are thinking that. Why are we fighting for Israel? Or why are we doing all? So some of these men are second guessing even being in the military right now.
It's not protecting America. The thing is, America's never had to be protected. They've gone in as aggressors in every conflict.
Yeah.
They needed a 9/11 to do it.
Yeah.
Usually they do a 9/11 and get man pumped up here, and the man go over there blindly. This time it was like everyone kind of knows, like, yo, this is bullshit. Like, what? You want to send us over there for that? And then they're looking at the fucking maps, like, yo,
That's mad.
what's the plan here?
Yeah.
What's the plan
I'm just
here?
gonna go in there and blow some shit up.
Like, even Venezuela, bro. Why you think they didn't put boots on the ground? And you people, I told man about this already. The Venezuela thing, that was the best that they could do. Oh yeah, great. Why I'm putting a quick destroy a couple electronic equipment. Wham bam, thank you, man. In and out of there, like with a bit inside help. And man's like, oh my god, the American military, bro. That was the easiest thing they could have done. Now go put boots on the ground and
Try to manage.
take it to them militias and that in, bro.
Who fucking has dodged 90 bullets and now a trans with a gun's gonna fight him.
Come on.
Bro.
They get eaten for
Bro,
breakfast.
my bro, I know a guy from Colombia, Venezuela. So you see these type of countries, bro. It's jungle and hills.
Yeah. That's why they couldn't take down Vietnam.
Yeah. And
Bro, this dude's trying to get a coffee. The whole fucking coffee shop blow up. Dude, you sit on the chair and shit.
bro,
How can you fight that?
But that's why the Americans thought at that time the best way to deal with that is just to burn everything. Napalm shit. You know what I mean? But it still didn't fucking work.
Yeah, it's easy.
And age your orange man up and all that kind of stuff. It still didn't really work.
the terrain matters. And then not only the terrain, is these men have got home advantage and they're even more, they're morally in the right because you're here on my thing. So even if you kill more of them, you can kill more of them, but they don't mean you'll win because they're still there. So Vietnam, they killed a lot of Vietnamese, but they lost because you had to leave, which is what they wanted. Like, so if they'd have sent man into why you think the oil companies, they said straight away, bro, we're not going in there because they know, listen, how are we gonna send our people in there to go get this oil when these men hate us? Be a shot. Man's just gonna be driving down the road, bare jungle on either side, and it's just gonna be rat-tat-tat. The men are gonna fire it off, bro. Yeah, and disappear back in the jungle.
It's real. It's real.
IEDs. They weren't ready for that. That's why they didn't go in. They didn't actually go into Venezuela and actually put boots on the ground to actually occupy it, because that would have been a death sentence.
I say Satan or Esau, you know, is king of the skies, isn't it? You know,
That's all they could do.
Yeah.
That's all they could do. Like, because them men are not ready for that. But they're gonna have to do it though. The Lord's gonna make the scripture say, "I'll remove far from me the northern army." They're gonna have to put boots on the ground, and that's when it's kind of equalized. Then now it's my gun and your gun, and let's see how brave you are.
The political will at home is going to change, man. The Americans, because there's a lot of American wives that are just like, look, man, fuck all you people that voted for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, so that's gonna
Well,
read that
to
today.
say the people who born to
I
fight,
was looking about
they don't have the spirit to fight.
Yeah.
You know,
they're not morally, they're not
yeah,
right.
they're not
bro.
right.
You know when? Hey, you ever had a fight with someone you're in the wrong? It's not the same.
No, it's true. It's true.
When you're not in the right, you're like, oh man, this nigga kind of got a point.
Think about when Khabib, remember when
Oh yeah,
Conor
yeah.
Khabib, like you remember Conor trying
Now we
Talking to him,
you remember Conor
I'm trying to say it's not
trying
personal.
like you know it's not but it's like listen talk now. Talk now.
Smash you.
I smash.
Can I grab the one you quoted, bro?
What did he say? He said, oh, why you tap? Man wanted more. He wanted more.
Jeremiah 51 and 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds.
spirit for them is gone.
Yeah.
The generation that generation's gone, bro. After all the travesties of the American army, all these false wars, they ain't got the appetite to fight.
Yeah.
They're gamers, bro. They're gamers. They might fire some drones. That's about it.
Listen, bro.
And it's fully exposed.
The game is different. See how I was thinking about that the other day, bro? Listen, when you're playing Call of Duty, you get a bit of anxiety, but you're respawning, bro.
Yeah.
You know
No,
he's coming back.
it's different when the bullets are whizzing past your
Finality.
head and shit's happening, bro.
Finality, bro.
And it's
Like-
really it's worse now because at least even though we know the military technology is years ahead, they got some new shit. Now. Like, man's there on a like a ground war, and he hears a ray gun. Like, nigga, shit's different.
There was a sorry, Scott.
That's the point, man. It's like real war needs real men,
Yeah.
right? And America's really been moved away. If you listen to a lot of these guys, America moved away from real warfare a long time ago. They focused on the use of special ops teams, air support and things of that nature. Like, and so they're not really equipped for real warfare no more. Large scale real war, boots on the ground and taking.
combat. And
No, they're not ready for that. Iran is ready for that because they're still on that shit. That's why they keep saying Iran don't have no air force. They don't need one. Man say, come. Air force is good. We don't need no air
That's
force.
the thing. Everything's good if you want to attack somebody else from far away. But Iran's staying regional, bro. They're not trying to fight
They're
everybody.
living in mountain bases on the ground, blood. They're saying, come.
This is the fortress right here.
I'm saying about Navy, bro. We ain't on the sea. We're here. Come.
Like,
Don't worry about
why would
that.
you leave the fort? Like,
Yeah.
it's a stronghold. Like,
That's
why
it.
are you leaving?
Come put boots on the ground here. They ain't talking about we're talking about aircraft. No, come down here. Let me see eye to eye.
and the thing is, it's like
I'm set and I'm scoring a goal.
A rumble.
Yeah, that's it. Man, Iran is set piece FC, bro.
they became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken.
Well, that's already started to happen with the American bases that's been hit in the Middle East. And you see how them aircraft carriers is where game's really gonna change. Because a lot of the glory of their might is in them aircraft carriers, man. But the game has changed. See, you know the thing about in reality in warfare is like castles. There used to be a time where a castle was just that was it. You had a castle, you did well, and then they brought in flipping what's it called?
Cannons.
Cannons and these things kind of destroyed castles because the whole point of the castle was you needed 10 times the amount of men to take my castle. So if I got like 1,000 men in here, you need to bring at least like 10,000 men and really hold me out, and you need such amount of food and siege because you're not gonna get in here easy once I close them gates. Okay, cannons, boom, boom, we just blasted a hole, and our men are gonna come in.
Gonna stroll through.
You're gonna stroll straight through. So that changed the whole game. That's why no one built some idiot like I think Andrew Tate was like, why don't they build castles anymore? Because castle was it's for military, you dickhead. It wasn't like a house that you lived in. You know, and there was a reason.
There was a castle and there was a palace.
Yeah, like,
see, very different things.
There's no point building a castle today. But the same thing goes where there was a point where the aircraft carrier allowed you to project that aerial dominance.
Yeah.
But Russia and these men said, what's the point? We'll just invent missiles and shoot your shit down. And now, guess what? You got an aircraft carrier. We'll invent a missile that will just blow up your aircraft carrier.
And because that's what I was about to say. It's like they talk about this air superiority, but you take out those 2 aircraft carriers.
That's it.
But it's like Iran knows that's kind of sus. That's like 5,000. Was it USS Abraham Lincoln or whatever? Can hold 5,000 people on it. That will get a whole load of. That will get the sign off that America wanted to do something hella dirty. You know.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Exactly.
Them niggas is on the ground.
Yeah.
It's a country of 92 million people, bro. It's not easy, bro. Like Afghanistan had a 40,000 strong standing army. No, Iraq. There's only 40,000 men there in the army, and most of them gave up as soon as they went in there. Bro, these men have 1 million men standing army, 1 million zealots that believe in martyrdom.
You know, the crazy thing is,
Dragons of
man's drinking blood before he goes on. I was like,
Bro, these Americans don't believe they don't even believe in heaven. These men believe in martyrdom.
man's on battle just drinking milk, blood, and cheese. Like,
Some atheists, man.
fucking
Yeah.
die hard.
Atheists, man. They just believe when they die, it's goes to black.
Yeah,
they
that's
don't
it.
want to die. Man.
It's 70 virgins.
Back in there, yeah.
I want them.
Strong motive. Like.
Bro, you see them? They're out in the streets. I don't know if you've seen the video. They're out protesting, like supporting the government and all that. And then America's dropping bombs in the vicinity.
Yeah, I
and
saw
man's
that one.
like,
Yeah,
man's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and man's like, hold on. Like, God is great. I'm like, yo, let that be in Britain.
Everyone's scattering.
Bro,
Yeah.
if that's Britain or America, blood, it's just bare man are dying just from running.
Yeah.
More the stampede of people, more people will die for man running for their lives
Yeah.
than the actual bomb.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
men were
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
There's a bomb. Whatever, blood. Like,
Yeah.
Grannies, blood.
Yeah.
Grannies.
These people are
The baby, like,
wow,
the baby got a dagger in her hand.
drinking blood too.
How do you fight a people like that? Where that them strong ass ammunitions go off nearby them and all they do is praise the Most High.
Yeah,
Like, how do you fight a people like that?
I mean, it's not the same level, but it makes me think of like the walls of Jericho. Remember, like after the trumpet blew, after the walls went down, but it's mentioned the courage of Jake was emboldened, and,
Jake was tough.
and like the heathen was just they became like babies. essentially.
Because that matters in war. That's why the scripture says he would basically put the fear of you on the enemy.
Yeah, the fear and dread of you.
Because psychology matters
Yeah.
in any form of battle or even sport. Once the other team don't believe, you see it. You can watch a football game and see when man don't believe no more, and they're just gonna capitulate like Tottenham. Like they man don't believe. Like, that's it. And it's like, oh man, like, and it don't matter how good they are, they just start capitulating. Then the other team believes, and they're just on your ass, man. It's a 7-0 thing.
Canelo and Bud.
Yeah, I can't remember. Can I continue?
No,
Right, I go for the toxic.
no, but it's true. The men, you gotta believe. You gotta have a certain level of belief, and it allows you to fight with a certain fervency. You know, but when you're demoralized and disheartened, the Judas Maccabees, when he was running down, they said when they saw the manliness of them guys, said these guys really believe. Like, say sure. You know,
I wanted to get back into Isaiah 47. Borrowed suggestion I'm reading the GNT, right? So I'm in the GNT now. Reading from verse 7 again says, "You thought you would always be a queen and did not take these things to heart or how it would all end. Listen to this, you lover of pleasure. You think."
Because I looked up that word pleasures in the Strongs. Because it basically, so the first one is this H5719, which is just voluptuous. But when you look into it, right, it's adan, which is, and the roots is to be soft or pleasant, or figuratively, reflectively, to live voluptuously, delight, to luxurious. Yeah.
Which
soft
most
life.
Americans don't know that compared to the rest of the world. Like, for instance, eating eating steak on a regular basis,
Yeah.
right? There are places in the world, like I know a man from like Uganda. Man's like, yeah, like man kill a cow, it's like it has to be something.
Yeah.
Like a wedding or something.
Yeah.
Most of their dishes are vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because man ain't got no abundance of cattle like that. Whereas in America, man will eat steak for like
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Well, you got man on steak diet, like that's how they lose weight. Like.
That's considered to eat that much. Pause. To eat that much meat.
Oh god.
Why for that? That's a why still in it. Eating that much meat is a luxury. I'm saying it's a why. No, to eat that much meat is a luxury. That's a fact. The way to eat that much delicacies in terms of sweets and to the point where you're now fat. The average American is living a luxurious life compared to a lot of people in different areas of the world. They don't eat that luxuriously.
So listen to this, you lover of pleasure. You that think you are safe and secure. You claim you are as great as God, or with the greatest military, the greatest
Because
by far.
the greatest country
By far.
Because we're the best of the best of the best. Of the best.
It's 4th of July.
Yeah.
All that shit.
I'm fired off.
All this
Fire,
proud boasting.
fire.
So that you claim you are great.
Like the F-35.
Yeah,
The F-35 is supposed to be basically be a chariot. That's the way they talk about it. The fire, and then it turns out that it's garbage.
Yeah.
But that's how they go on.
Yep. And it's always been garbage. That's the thing. Like it was. I remember it had like overheating issues. It's like, wait, you got a jet engine. That's a lot of heat. How can you have?
And we've got aircraft carrier rubbish.
Exactly. Yeah.
The aircraft carrier.
You know what America is? You know them dead ballers, yeah? But their moms like bought them like brand new vapes. You know them ones? You know them ones?
Yeah.
And
All the kid, none of the skill.
and he always got picked last, and he never understood why.
Man's got the best shin pads.
I remember that.
Man's got the Nike socks. You know them ones?
There's
You
one
know them
I
made
fought
it.
by-
Total 90s. Bro. Man's got the official kit. You know the one you buy in the shop.
Man's decked out, coming with the
He even has
Champions
the
League.
gloves. He even has the gloves.
Yeah.
And the snood. And
What, just dead baller?
Dead
That's,
baller.
that's America. America's got the trimmings. They've spent a lot of money on a lot of high-tech equipment, like the THAAD system, yeah. But then when you go deep into it, look like we've seen, these men used some cheap drones and undid the whole system. Because the system was more about looking pretty. It was like, oh, look what we have. We've spent $1 billion on this. Like he could do this, he could do that, and then it just
I think it was Scott Ritter was saying that the whole idea of air defense just doesn't make any air defense system doesn't really exist, because you're basically having to, just the way that they've modeled it is you basically have to shoot these missiles at these which are independent things that are coming, right? But it's like you can overwhelm it very easy. I forget exactly the specific volume.
That's how you be a pure boxer,
yeah,
bro.
that's why I
Pressure.
thought with Adrian Broner, Maidana. Nigga's head, mate. You remember after a while, it's like nigga got punches. I know, Glenn. Nigga
be like,
punches shoulder, and you could do it cheap.
Yeah,
Been on the sanction for 75 years. So they shouldn't really, when you think about it,
it should be
for a
saved.
country that's got, think of it, they've got like unlimited money. America has unlimited money, yeah. And then you got a country that's been under sanctions for 75 years. The war should have been over. And that's what Trump said. The war is over in the first hour. Yeah, it should be over in the first hour. Yeah, but that's because sometimes when you got too much money, yeah, you just do bullshit with it because you got the money. But when you're broke, you make shit work, innit?
Yeah,
because it's like
niggas
you
in jail, working out, getting ready for that day while
Man ain't got the
outside free,
yeah.
eating.
Man got fitness first, yeah. They ain't got the same level.
They trust in chariots, man.
That's it.
You know, they're testing all their equipment, all their high tech shit. But like when it comes to actual warfare, they might.
That man downed an American drone and is reverse engineered it.
Yeah.
So imagine, like, they don't have to worry about no laws, like copyright laws and nothing, yeah. So you spent like fucking $1 billion developing this drone.
Yeah.
They just knocked one down and said, all right, what's that?
Fair play.
And the thing is, it doesn't
That was
even
10K.
necessarily have to cost a billion, because that came out with there was a Senate hearing
Oh, yeah.
where basically it was like, why is this bag of bushels, which is just a something you can get in the hardware store. So why is this
So
$90,000?
they're robbing, man. The military industrial
You know.
complex has been robbing,
Robbing,
the
man,
people
yeah.
blind, bro.
You know,
Overplaying for shit that is useless, man.
Get back in here. You claim you're as great as God, that there is no one else like you.
Yeah,
That's what the man is saying. Like,
that's
blatantly
it.
saying that right now.
We could hit Iran so hard it could never be rebuilt again.
Yeah.
They really think, you got my man Hex, which is
Excellent.
he's DEI if ever I've seen
Yeah.
one. He is an absolute just a actor.
He's been known to be DI too, bro.
He's a DEI.
He's been known to
That
be
guy, you
DI.
can see he just snorts cocaine, drinks Hennessy,
It says yes to Trump.
and yeah, and he's got bare problems. But if you were to actually sit down with him and talk about war, like he doesn't know anything. Like
He's never read, you know, the
we will rain death and destruction from the sky every minute of every day. It's like, what this guy talking about, man? But hey, that's America for you. It's all showman.
Yeah.
But he's talking like he's like they're God out here. They're gonna bring death and destruction from the sky and all this stuff. Good Christians.
So you thought that you would never be a widow. You're never gonna lose.
Yeah.
You're about to find out. So all suffer the loss of your children, your brave soldiers, your men, right? The teeth, right? It says, but in a moment, in a single day, both of these things will happen. In spite of all the magic you use, because America's built upon witchcraft, right? You will lose your husband and children.
Yeah.
You felt sure of yourself in your evil.
he's talking about witchcraft, and once again, part of that witchcraft is this idea that right now that they're not taking any hits, but we know they're taking hits. But they need to sell that to the American people. Oh no, it's just 13 soldiers. Oh no, Iran's not really done anything. You know.
Well, I don't know how, you know, America destroyed everything, basically.
From the start,
Yeah, but they're still having issues.
Exactly.
How is that?
They just hit Diego Garcia. I don't know about hit, but they just fired at Diego Garcia, which is out of the range. It's supposedly out of the range that Iran's supposed to have.
Well, saying,
No, he destroyed all the missiles.
Exactly.
Which you can't. Bro, that's impossible, bro. These men that got bunkers and all this stuff. They're fine. You see some things, yeah? You look in the desert, there's nothing there. Then you just see the puff of smoke, a missile come up. But by the time the dusk settles, you don't even know where it came up from.
I heard man was shooting, America was shooting at images on the floor and stuff like that.
Yeah. They were doing blow up helicopters and stuff.
It's totally fake.
But that's it. It's smart, right? Because when you understand how something works, you know how to fool it.
Yeah.
So they know. Yeah, they know. Okay, it's AI. It's just gonna use some heat-seeking tech, because all it was like heat-seeking paint. And then the missile's gone heat. I must.
I put myself like, they've got all this technology, but they couldn't just run a heat signature that's not got no heat or something, and then just blew up anyway, wasting these missiles and that.
There's a lot of cynicism. You can say it hits like that.
It's funny when you see the video.
Yeah.
This is some shit in a park.
It's dumb. Anyway, you felt sure of yourself in your evil, right? Yeah, I have to explain that. You thought that no one else could see you, right? But we see you. Yeah, and others are starting to see you too for what you are. Your wisdom and knowledge led you astray, and you said to yourself, "I am God. There is none else like me, or no one else like me." Disaster will come upon you, and none of your magic can stop it. Ruin will come on you suddenly. Ruin you never dreamed of. Right?
Yeah, that's unthinkable. To think that America is going to be completely destroyed. And like I said, the beautiful thing is that's what they're wishing on other people.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, right, this guy's actually prophesying on himself, because he's like, Iran will destroy it and it will never be built again. I'm like, actually, you're spooky, because have you ever read the Bible? It says that about you.
No, but Iran's Babylon. That's what I'm going to tell you. That Iran's Babylon. So that's why we said that. You know.
Well, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to you. All that wicked man talk. So them man are talking wicked about Iran.
Yeah.
It's gonna actually be funny for
And
me.
you know, it's because he's frustrated because they're not able to do what they're saying they're doing. So that's why man's got to give bare
Their
superlatives.
objective was not gonna be able to do. You can't end. If these guys have nuclear material, you can't bomb that nuclear material.
Yeah.
In fact, if that's what
I
you're doing,
wouldn't do that.
but That
was a
doesn't
bit
stop
low
anything.
IQ. Yeah.
They've obviously moved that to certain underground bases and
Underground
places.
bases.
So it's like you just bombing buildings. It's not
Nothing
doing
happening.
anything. That's just never gonna. And then what you gotta, because what they're saying is, if your goal is to get that nuclear material, there's only one way to do it. Even if
Go
you
in.
blow a building up and it's in that
He
building,
has to go.
you still need to get them boots, put them on the ground, and go collect. That
And the
material.
stupidest thing is, yeah, if they're hitting these buildings and it's in these buildings, bro, that's even harder work.
Well, you because it's in the damn earth.
Yeah, but just to go in, it's hard because you made a mess.
Yeah. And guess what? Even if the buildings on the top collapse and crumble, that shit is still
Down there.
protected underneath.
Yeah, they can get that. So it's like the whole mission really is nothing to do with what they're saying. It's just the excuses nuclear. Is all
It's
this.
just prophecy.
But-
Them man are there to go up with prophecy.
They
man.
want to cause disruption and cause chaos in order
The
to
world.
get to their end, which isn't what they're saying it is. Because Iran was never a threat to anyone. Like no one's crazy like that. There's crazy people on the planet, but like you don't pick a fight with big dogs. They weren't just gonna bomb London. Like, it's so insane. Like people were saying, oh, they had missiles. They could have nuked London.
Knowing that the whole NATO.
Why? That would be like suicide. You might as well just cut your own throat if you're gonna do something stupid like that. Especially when you don't have ICBMs, like we was discussing earlier. The only unstoppable missiles really from that range would be ICBMs.
And why would you want to fight a war on your home turf? To mess up your nation. No one starts a war like that, bro. Like, you know, your nation's gonna get fucked up. Like no one really starts a war like that. You know?
Well,
Because
Iran is definitely not Iran because they haven't shown that history.
no, the willingness to do that.
But
That's why I say come. They're not going nowhere. They just say come here.
um,
Because you're already here, obviously. You're gonna waste all your munitions and your
I'm
fuel
here.
to come here.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm here. Come on.
Come on.
Kill me.
Do it now.
Do it now. Hey, that thing was cold, man. Man said, we know, we're waiting. For it."
And I believe them. I believe them, man.
We're both. Get well. By the time you get there, a lot of them man have already lost a lot of family members, bro. So they're gonna be pissed. What's that scalping me?
First Maccabees 4:35. This is what you were talking about. Now, when Lysias saw his army put to flight and the commandingness of Judas and how they were ready to either live or die valiantly, he went to Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers. And having made his army greater than it, he purposed to come again to.
Which is never a good sign.
Yeah,
Mercenaries in
mercenaries
history.
Mercenaries ain't loyal.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck you,
they
bro.
ain't trying to go all in to go all out.
Yeah.
Well, when you got all the advantages, mercenaries are good. But
They
a while-
want to come back home with the rewards.
as soon as you start losing now, man start thinking about home, you know? Like,
What's inside?
yeah,
Like, hey, look, man, I just paid.
it ain't personal.
It ain't personal, man. Yeah. But it's true, like for real, it's like that's why even like in boxing and stuff, you know, when you see certain fighters, like you know when they do the face off, they try and get an advantage by getting a person psyched up, whatever. But very once in a while, you come across a dude that he ain't going for none of it. Like I'm winning today, you know.
Well, you beat a guy better when they're. Well, my philosophy in boxing is you gotta be ready to die. Because that allows you to attack with not reckless abandon, but you can't really hit a guy if you're worried about getting hit.
It's like Kuma to your limits, isn't it?
Yeah.
The guys that on
The guys that actually are good punchers are the guys that are kind of insane. Like Bud's not worried about being hit. He's defensively responsible, but that's why he'll sit down on a shot and crack your head open because he can sit down on a shot. He's not worried about running away. You know what I'm saying? He will fucking like. So you can't be in back of your mind thinking I just don't want to get hit. Like alien.
Usyk. Even Usyk. Remember, you know, when he was fighting these men like Tyson Fury, he was all trying to get him psyched out. But then you see
never leave you alone.
older videos of Usyk in the crowd, just like Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day I get my opportunity.
Bro, you gotta be. There's a certain aspect of when you go to war, you have to be ready to die, because that overly being that too much fear makes you hesitate. It makes you.
But that's in our law. Can someone
If men are fearful, they can't. They couldn't.
You have to stay home. You have to stay hard. You know, even remember the natives.
Today's a good day to die.
Today's a good day to die.
Yeah.
Like,
Dangerous man.
yeah, like that's a dangerous man, especially again, like the brothers have been saying, what's happening in Palestine and obviously now Iran, like, is basically what they did to the natives essentially, with Palestine. In terms of just slaughtering man's peoples, like that, taking their land, that gives new birth to the niggas who have their whole life indoctrinated.
And it's like Hollywood shows you all of the time. He had a guy, young child, he saw his
dad killed. Papa!
I got that low.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
You trying to lose,
bro.
Like, well, that's another thing. Like, if it's an existential threat, you're more likely to go all out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You got everything to lose right now.
Yeah.
So you might as well just go all out.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 20. I'm gonna read into it. So I'll start from verse 5 because there are several reasons. Right. It says, and the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, what man is there that has built a new house and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it. And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife and hath not taken her? Let him go and return.
Thinking about the gal on the battlefield.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that film? You don't know.
The one possible, right?
Actually, I'm so bad with names of films, man. But basically, the dude was on the battlefield talking about, when I finally get back,
I forgot.
and it got blown up.
Don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, man. I don't want to think about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's been
because Vietnam you could die at any time.
Yeah, bro,
if you ain't switched on to what you're doing, or just like I said, that fear will mean that you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Where you, instead of doing something you needed to do, the fear made you hesitate, and then the hesitation is really what got you killed.
And that can never. And what's interesting as well, like stress, like if you're too stressed for a consistent period of time, your actual stomach starts getting burnt with fucking little kind of holes, and they actually messes what your gut. So they got experiments, like studies done. People they like test their bodies and their gut before they go into jail, and if they got a long sentence, they check like after the sentence, and their whole digestive system is fucked because of the stress. So can you imagine being in Vietnam, like a little girl has a little water pot, and the bitch explodes, like that will anxiety every day. You don't know what's going on. Like PTSD on demand.
Everything.
Imagine that. Like either it's a little girl, either it's a fucking dog with something strapped around and shit to catch your attention. You're gonna die, bro.
Yep. And there'll be someone who's done that same routine, because there was an elder or brother who told a story like that, an account where it was like someone just wasn't switched on one day. I think it was a laundrette situation, ended up blowing the whole place up, man.
That's how the game goes, man. Yeah, that's why the scriptures are telling you when you go to war, you want man that's there to war.
Yeah.
You don't want man there with unfinished business at home and all this stuff, and your heart ain't in it, bare hesitation, man.
Well, but that's why they said that, allegedly one of those US aircraft carriers took so long because the officers were basically flushing their uniforms down the system. Yeah, because everyone's like, oh, why? Why am I going to die?
What this?
I want to die.
They don't want to end up like the previous generation of soldiers. They seen how these guys are all messed up from Iraq and from Afghanistan. 20 years that left a lot of veterans messed up, man. Dead homies, man. Dead homies, suicides. Like, yo, bro, we're just here to get a paycheck, man. Why we got to do all this?
I'm gonna grab a quick precept just on that. It's Sirach 26 and 28. There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffereth poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin, will prepare such an one for the sword. But the point that one, it was a man of war that suffered poverty.
Right.
Not being looked after. Yeah. No, I'm saying, but that's the American military,
Yeah,
man.
like there is no one who I can like in terms of veteran was on the front line. There's no positive story they come back and tell. You know,
What was not a positive thing?
But some of them, they do well with the pay because they do get paid money.
yeah,
After they
benefits.
serve the amount of time. But at the end of the day, your mind, a lot of these men, their minds mess up. Like most of these veterans are on the street. They're on the street because PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD.
It's not because they're broke. It's because like their mind can't handle the stuff that they went through, man. The trauma, and there's a lot of trauma.
Well, there was that Jake, couple brothers did a video on. He was a veteran in Vietnam, and he said over 25 people, and then basically when he came and like he was telling a story of having to kill a lady and the bullet went through her and killed a young child. And he was telling a story how later on in life his son, when he came back from the war, just got caught in a crossfire, died too by and he said the same look that his child had is what the child had in Vietnam. And he said, to be honest, like I know that was payback for what I did in Vietnam. But the point is, a dude like that,
He gonna be on heroin,
bro, he's probably dead because he took himself out with
Straight heroin.
with straight fucking heroin, fentanyl, whatever the hell. You know what I mean? It's like that, man.
Yeah, because like I said, a lot of them come to the conclusion that I'm just here killing people, man. And it messes with their mind, especially the Jakes. They just come to the conclusion that, hold on, I'm just being here killing these people.
And what was over? What's over?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's messed up, man. But it'll all be over soon anyway.
Back in Deuteronomy 20:7 says, well, what man is there that hath betrothed a wife and hath not taken her?
Man's on the battle for thinking about
Well, I think
Susie Lou and that.
and the progeny that he's not going to have.
Yeah.
You know, these different types of things.
lineage is done. Nah, you need to go into that warfare with a clear, laser focused mind on defeating the enemy.
It says, let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in battle and another man take her. And I believe in the other version it says you can't even war for a year or something like that. After you
have to enjoy your wife for a year.
Yeah. You know.
The fearful don't belong in the
Yeah. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
But they don't do that. So because they don't do that in the military, you basically got a military unit of men that the spirit ain't right. You got a man in there that's psychopathic and ready to ride next to a man that's pissing and shitting himself. And especially in the Israeli army, because they brought these JOOs over there, and these are just normal Donnies that they make go sign up to the army. They don't. This man should be a teacher or something, but he's in there signing up with a military jacket. You don't really want to be there. You're not built, because that's another thing. Not every man's built for war. You know? Some man just need to farm.
Some men are dedicated warriors.
Like some man are just ain't got the go in them. Some man is not in them to do that.
Level,
You have to understand that. That man knew that in the village, that guy. But you might have 3 or 4 or 5 guys. You're better off sending those 3 or 4 or 5 than forcing them other 6 men to go with them.
All of them killed.
There's dudes that just have to just bake the bread, man. He's all right.
That's it, yeah.
He's like, look, man, have to rap.
He has to rap.
Go play the guitar.
You know what I mean?
Could not go on the level because it may be a situation where the enemy's nearby and you just got to keep dead quiet.
Yeah.
But my man, you know what I'm saying?
No, this guy, no. Yeah, you got to kind of in one mind.
Well, same with us, right?
Yeah.
Especially like I be single, you know.
That's right. But Esau's thing is just numbers. So just graft up everyone and force man to go over there.
You can hold a gun.
Yeah, if you can hold a gun, black, vaginas, everything, but man, just send them in there to die, but it's crazy. Nah, there's a few good men. That's all that's necessary. You don't need everyone. It's just, but you know, Esau loves the meat grinder thing.
The most I never played. You never played the numbers game. It was always outnumbers. Every battle we went to was outnumbered.
But I think Esau's the one that come up with this bullshit. Just draft everyone. You, sir, you.
He's on you, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, hold this gun, man, shaking. Yeah, hold this gun, go over the man, just send the man over the train.
And they kill each other a lot. You know, friendly fire, right? But these men are just, you know what I mean? They're not quick to go
The
to
trench
war.
warfare thing was despicable, man.
Yeah, man.
They were just sending hundreds of men to just die, and then they be scared of their officers because I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't going over there. I don't fuck that, man. I've just seen 100 men go over this fucking wall and 100 men died, yeah. And now you got to explain to me properly what we're doing here. So I got to do the math. Because a lot of times these men were fighting over plots of land that were not even no strategic value.
Man, it's like when you look up. When I first looked it up, I was gobsmacked. For the Battle of Somme, SOMME, 60,000 man dead in one day. 60,000 man.
My machine gun fire.
One day.
And then man telling you he's gonna shoot you if you don't go over.
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He probably weren't gonna make it, bro. The officer's getting it.
Yeah.
The officer's getting it, blood. Fuck you, man. Nah, blood. My life's worth more than this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you go first. You know what I mean? Like, you're asking
No,
me
within
crazy.
10 seconds, every man that just go over is dead.
Yeah.
100%.
And then man are reloaded.
100% death rate.
Yeah, basic.
100% death rate.
And the officer, I say you first. You know what I mean?
I got your back.
I got 3 seconds.
Yeah, man. Esau's wicked, man. Yeah, bro.
This is the book of Joel.
Some strange land.
Yeah, but it's easy when it's not them man going, isn't it? Going to war. These are, you know, rich people, they don't go to war. Their sons don't go to war. It's easy just to throw bodies at a
Bro, Darren will get head top quick because he's tall ass. Yeah, go on.
It says this is the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land."
So that's the boots on the ground. So there's gonna be boots on the ground, and they're gonna be killing each other. But really, it's a judgment on all these different nations from the Lord. So they're just going for the Iranians, for the Saudis, for all these men that's there. They're gonna be there getting judged for that.
Yeah, because some, bro, a lot of them,
You still got numbers.
you know, these are just the different events in our history. So she's a Lakeish and situations with Jake just getting fucked up. You know, 70 AD. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that's happened, though.
You got sorry?
No, because I was looking at that once again, that Battle of Somme, right? It says limited territorial gain. All that fighting gained only 10 kilometers, 6 miles of ground. So 60,000 man died for 6 miles.
Yep.
But then one thing that I did find interesting,
10K run.
right, is basically, I asked why was it so deadly? Well, point 2, overconfidence in artillery, which sounds very familiar to what we're having right now. Yep. Yeah, says the British planned a massive artillery bombardment before the attack, believing it would destroy German defenses, cut barbed wire, kill or demoralize
That's why history
defenders.
repeats itself. Yeah, because it's the same hubris. You know, the same proudness. You know, these devils are super proud, thinking that they have the advantage all the time. You know,
No, it's easy to make them decisions when you ain't the one that's with your neck on the block. The same thing same thing happened in World War I. They didn't realize the destructive capability of their machine guns,
Yeah.
and so they thought the war was going to be over quick. They didn't know it was going to be as long as it was. And that's why they needed a draft, because so many of the soldiers died. It was almost like, oh, well, we need more men.
Yeah.
They all died.
And that's why it was called the Great War. They thought that's going to be the war to end all. That's how bad it was. But then what's interesting about World War One was they didn't have as much of technology on surgery. So a nigga's leg will get blown, or not, like decapitated, or not decapitated, but chop. And then instead of like putting him to sleep, he ain't getting put to sleep. A nigga getting a belt and hot to cauterize it. You know what I mean? So that was pure suffering. Because like
for that 36 million or something.
yeah,
Like, there was a lot of
casualties.
like outside of the death. There was a lot of men that got injured.
And again,
I think that's why you got plastic surgery.
yeah, exactly. It's like
that man looked horrible.
Like there's niggas wasn't getting put to sleep like that. They just got niggas there with a saw.
Yeah. So that was PTSD. That would give man PTSD. Bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
World War II vets had it better than World War One. them niggas swords, is niggas saw on your knee and have to pour hot fucking oil to cauterize.
Like, whose idea was this? You know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Meanwhile, the elites were just chilling, eating caviar and steak. That's how the game goes, man. Go on, let's get this shit going.
This is back in Numbers 24 and 17. It says, I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel.
Check this out.
Yeah, go on.
A scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Sheph and Edom.
Yeah, and the if you go into that word chef, Apostle went into it. It's a tumult of the nation. Psalm 83 it tells you that, you know, the tumult. So everyone's gonna get it. You know what I mean?
Verse 18. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly.
And it's only right.
Israel's going to do valiantly. So ultimately, who's going to win World War III?
Us.
Kingdom.
The one nation that ain't got an army, so to speak, who don't have is the nation that's actually going to become the winners.
And it makes me think of the birthright. You know what I mean? Like Jacob supplanted. It's like we're supplanted in the midst of Esau. Everyone's gonna fight. Oh shit! You know, all of that shit, and then Jacob is gonna come through and clean up. You know, it's like, you know, like the spoil, you know, spoiled Egypt.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Lord's gonna come in the midst where everyone, these niggas are fucking themselves up, starving, famine. Niggas' leg is getting cauterized.
The Lord's gonna cauterize that whole body.
Cauterize the whole body. And my brother's going, you know, sisters, the elect, they're gonna get beamed up and then come back and pick up crew, man. You know? And that's it. It's like you're being supplanted before your eyes. Like here is brothers in Nikes, you know, fed, you know, teaching, phones, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And then you're still going down. So thanks for the steak, thanks to the Nike. And we're gonna keep to this time.
Book of Isaiah 41 and 14. Fear not, thou womb Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, said the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah,
So ultimately, the things that we're talking about, it's to the heathen's destruction, man. All these heathen too, not just Esau. Esau is just going to be the biggest loser. But all the other nations are going to lose too. And the only winner is going to be Yahweh Shai and the elect, man. You know, and that's the beautiful thing. That, hey, Revelations, man, it says we overcame him by the word of our testimony, man, and the blood of the Lamb. That's all we needed. The scriptures and Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, and it's cooked all of them. We didn't need no weapons, spent $1 billion on a bro. The money these men are talking about, they man are destroying radar system, and it's a radar system cost 1 billion or some shit just for that one system installation. Like, Esau's been spending a lot of money on shit, man. Jake ain't got that, man. Jake is rock pocket out here. Niggas flexing a diamond chain. They nigga got a radar system worth 1 billion.
That's how Dr. Dre's net worth gone.
No, it's whole net worth on the building. Bro. What, we looked up the F-35 each.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's 100 million for one F-30. You man are talking about Lamborghinis. You man got F-35, and that's not even including the maintenance of the weapon, man, and the weapons you're gonna use.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like there's this whole thing about flight time. There's a cost per flight as well.
Yeah.
The amount of fuel it costs. But
It has
then
to
you
be stored separate as well. The dumbasses. The F-35 fuel is different to normal fuel, so it has to be stored in special fuel containers. Otherwise, it fucking like,
okay.
yeah, bro, that's just expensive
Wow.
to operate, man.
Yeah, but then you'd also then need the Strato tanker because for the long range missions,
They got
like they need to refuel in air. So then now you got to pay for that, and obviously one of those got down. Would you call it a couple of?
Listen, bro. If all of the I could probably put a bet on you that if all of the elect that exist put all their money together, they couldn't get like 1 million. Probably couldn't even put together one fucking F-35, man. You know what I mean? We broke out here.
Well, even would you call when you look at those the helmet that those fighter jet each one is custom made. Because obviously everyone's head is different, isn't it? So it's like everyone.
Yeah.
Maybe nano movement technology, space stuff.
Everyone's cranium is different.
Something weird.
Today, it probably cost like 50 grand or something.
It's something ridiculous.
Man. So that's why. So we don't try and go band for band with Esau. It's not gonna work,
I think.
right? Our thing, we go with spirit, man. We go in. We're not the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man. That's Esau. Esau can spend $1 billion on one airplane and whatever, you know. Something crazy.
Fighter jet helmets specifically for the F-35 Lightning II are worth between $400,000 and $500,000 each.
So you gotta buy the airplane. So that's like, but then again, after you spend 100 million on the plane, another 500,000 for the helmet. You know what I mean? Like, and how much if you get hubcaps?
I mean, what's even the need?
Wait, the helmet they wear.
Yeah, the helmet.
I thought it was like another feature of the plane.
Bro,
Jet.
Yeah, because I thought it was like 50 grand, but yeah, so the F-16 ones were 165,000 each, but these ones are $400,000 to $500,000 each. Each helmet is individually designed, recovering 3D head scans and hours of precision calibration. The Gen 3 helmet mount and display head system serves as a command center.
Shit, man.
Bro, that's not half a
Crash the plane,
million.
they die. What's the helmet gonna help?
That's
that's what happens.
I don't understand. I don't understand. If you put a bicycle helmet, like motorbike helmet on.
Yeah, but you can't wear a motorbike helmet, bro.
No, well, you tell me.
Bro.
I don't know.
It's an F-35, so they're moving at Mark. They're moving at Mach 3. There, you'd be dead.
Yeah, but they're inside a plane, blood. You've been inside a plane. Like,
No,
we've got
we've not, bro. Them
gas
things,
mask.
when they move from side to side, it's like a next level Formula One car.
Yeah, but that'd be like more like neck support, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the helmet's part. Remember, the helmet is also going to be giving them information. It's not no basic thing. It's not just a helmet.
So it's like Jarvis.
It's a control panel. Yeah.
That's what Jarvis on his head.
Still half a million
So they're gonna be. They probably could have done it for 50 grand. but-
military.
Yeah, but this is what Esau puts his money into, man, and that's why the damn budget is out of control. And then they want to cut the EBTs, but it's crazy.
They ain't got money on the bus. I ain't giving them back. Let's put out eBay.
But that just shows you the goal. You know, that's why the scripture says, man. You know, we're helpless in this world, because if you want to fight the warfare of this world, even if you want to be Iran spending them drones that they're using is 50K each. So I mean, in general terms of the grand scheme of the earth, this is cheap. Well, which ghetto is spending 50K on some drones, man?
Bro, if Jake owned that one, they gonna stunt with it. Yeah, nigga. I spent 50K on the drone, nigga. You know Jake, bro. You know Jake.
Launch that shit off.
You know,
Yeah, so
Jake
even
was starting
even
stuff
that
with-
warfare for Iran, they're spending a lot of money on
money.
on that, man. That's why we ain't on no level, man.
Yeah.
We ain't on no level like
Jacob,
That
that
was
one Jacob, man.
Yeah.
That one we can't.
Benjamin, but Benjamin just got a rifle, but they ain't got no fucking
And
drones.
stones. Nah, bro.
All right, last scripture.
Back in Numbers 24, verse 19, it says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
They're on their way down. So all that greater Israel or whatever it is they think they want to do,
Now we're
nah, go work, Richard. Yeah. So with that, we'll close up. Say, double honor to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone.